I think so, right?
Sure.
Roll call. Everyone.
Call.
Do we have our Australia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aye, Captain.
Yeah.
Laura accurate response. All right. In that case, we're gonna start because Nico had a work thing and he was going to be about an hour late from our usual start time. Which, by the way, is everyone just early today, or
Or I thought we were starting 7.
no?
Or
Whatever.
did you guys just decide to come in at?
Yeah, you said we were starting on the hour like a while back.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's what I
We
thought.
were attempting to start on the hour.
Yeah.
And then the time zone switch happened. Remember that
Yeah.
too?
Yeah. Okay. The time zone switch. True.
Daylight sucking time.
Anyway, so we're gonna start without Nico for now, and since the party is splitting anyway, or at least that's the intent, I suppose. Oh no, that was the bot. We're just gonna keep going, and if we get to a part where it's like, okay, we need Nico for this, I think we're probably just gonna pause for a bit. But I'm not sure it's gonna get to that. But without further ado,
Especially since Noah and Lucina are not going together.
No, they are.
They are.
we shall decide that.
I decide. I mean, the only person that's voting against it was me and Kevin, and I decided I'm okay with it being that funny.
Yeah, I need the bit. I need it for the gram.
It'll be fine. I'm telling myself.
On our last session, you guys visited the quote-unquote mayor. Technically, his title is speaker, but you visited his house to acquire one of the keys to the mausoleum. After a little bit of talking with him, you found out that his key was actually in the possession of Father Julius from the Church of Hestia. You then went to the church to finally meet the man, because you have never actually been around him directly. Although
And
those of you who are from Greathelm had already known, had already seen him, per se. You talked a little bit with the cleric, and he eventually indeed handed to you the mayor's key to the mausoleum, which means now you have 2 keys in your possession total, Lucina's and the mayor's. You're missing the Gravekeeper's own key, which God knows where it is. Probably with the Gravekeeper. After that conversation, you stepped out of the church for a little bit. There were some other discussions happening, and eventually you settled on, before going to the graveyard, splitting up and visiting a few points around the city where Rala's abilities, nobody knows exactly how, found out that there were certain things that you were looking for. I'm going to put it that way, to avoid making myself give away things on accident. We had ended the session as you were discussing, deciding, etc. the specific groups. There are 3 points, so you can neatly divide yourself into 3 pairings if you count on Lucina still being with you. Which you can then quickly use to visit those places faster. And after that, you're going to probably be swapping Lucina out for Sister Catherine, since you had decided to bring her along to the graveyard visit. And we're picking up right where we had left off. Any further discussions to be had?
Nope. I think we decided me and my Zell north, Lucina and Noah south, and Rala and Lilia west.
Yeah, that's what I'm remembering.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Any objection?
I think Aluna, the only thing she will do is to both Lilia and Rala is is just sort of like double checking things of just like, sure, look for this bag, this, blah blah blah. Don't talk to strangers. They don't know. We don't know who they are, and we don't know what they want from us right now. Blah 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 blah. She's gonna be doting.
Liz just nodding along.
Just double checking it is like. All right, did you get all that, Rala?
She would just have like an exasperated, yeah. Okay, fine.
Don't catch up that tone with me. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Miss Aluna.
Thank you. Sort of a pat Lily on the back. Take care of her.
Mozu. It's not the right voice. That was Brinlin.
Oh, I thought Lily had said something underneath her breath, and
It was just
Aluna was
another
gonna be like,
character breaking through the fourth wall for a second there.
I thought that was Lily because Luna's supposed to be like,
Yeah, will do.
Gotcha.
Is everyone set to depart? I shall take Noah Westergaard's conspicuous silence as agreement.
Yeah, I think we said not to say anything bad, so he just took that as don't say anything.
That'll wear off in a few minutes, though.
Yeah, probably.
Alright. Good luck to everyone. Mazel?
I suppose.
Oh, don't be such a baby. They'll be fine.
You sure?
Yes. So long as it doesn't turn into a very social interaction.
Okay.
Which is to say, and I'm sure I don't need to say this. Look, kind of looks at Noah. Don't cause a scene. And Noah will just stare like,
I think he would say something like, but I never cause a scene.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
That's what worries me.
yeah, right. I'll be fine.
Where is our point of reconvening?
Might as well either reconvene at the house or at the monastery, depending on where Sister Catherine will meet us.
It is a church, not a monastery.
And the church has a temple. It's a temple.
Yeah. I come from a monastery. That is not a monastery.
Correct. They are clerics, not monks. I too think it would be optimal to meet at the temple, since I will be staying with the civilian child rather than Catherine. Obviously not in the temple itself, but we must make the switch somewhere.
You do everything efficiently. You see you eat a meal one day.
I mean, you could always ask her to.
Nothing.
Nothing.
It's just Liz inconspicuously playing with the knives on her bandolier.
I feel like that. Yeah, half that conversation happened in eye looks.
That is the part.
Just remember, I know your girlfriend.
And she's a nice lady.
She's a very nice lady.
Just kind of starts backpedaling out of this conversation.
Yeah, Lucina has already kind of gone like understood and has marched off, and Noah presumably is like sort of following her.
That's one thing I can always trust Lucino for. Who do we want to start with? Do we want to start with Ralia, or what is our duo name? Which one did we decide to go with?
Could either be Myzaluna or Ilunazel. I don't know.
How about Izuna?
Izuna.
I don't know why. I just like that.
Suddenly Japanese.
It's mostly
No,
Iluna, but we just pulled the Z
no,
over.
Let's do Izune because the E.
Izune. Oh,
Yeah, I felt Izune. It's Japanese.
Okay. You guys can decide which one of those two goes first. Obviously, Noah's gonna be last.
Let's go first.
Okay.
Very well. You were taking the east one or the west one? I don't
The
remember.
northeast.
Northeast. Okay, so it's the closest one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. You begin heading there. You will eventually have to get to the wall and also, presumably climb it. Not a very long walk. Is there anything you guys, do you want to have a conversation while you're walking?
Are you sure they're gonna be okay? Maybe we should go check on them after we're done here.
My goodness, I thought I was a worrywart. They'll be fine. They're adults. They're capable.
Neither one of them are capable of social interactions.
They can manage. They managed their entire lives before they met us. They'll be fine. They're adults. Myself, it's okay. I just hope that they don't get into some sort of argument with one of the guards. Hina's standing in this town seems odd in the first place.
Tenuous at best, considering most of the guardsmen are under a spell and not actually listening to her.
My point exactly. Noah doesn't have to care about such things, but... well, I'm not sure if she cares. At the very least, it might bother her.
I'm sure it does, but she's also worried about her town. I need to figure out what's going on as quickly as possible, but there's so many moving components. I don't know what the plan... I just still can't see the big picture.
Detectives always with the big picture. I think it may just be more important to act. Last time.
Right, but if we can figure out the big picture, we might be able to predict how they'll move next.
I suppose.
And, well, muddling up the plans it might slow them down to buy us time, but it also lets them know we're onto their trail.
You don't think they already know?
I'm sure they do, but it still makes us easily traceable. Fumbling around in the dark while they can watch and observe. I don't
just
like
worry.
being the one who's watched. I prefer to be the one doing the watching.
So you're a voyeur.
Not like that.
You're so easy.
Come on, we should probably go invisible from this point.
Insight check is you a voyeur.
Making me figure out things about my characters.
You don't
Hang
have
on, wait. I don't have to decide if he wins the deception check.
That's true. Oh, I can't beat that. Okay, no, gentlemen's shake. If I get a natural 20, you have to let me win. Is that fair?
Sure.
1 out of 20. It's not gonna happen. Do it. Damn it. Wait, what?
Huh?
That is exactly what column of smoke begins to emerge from the southern
No,
side.
it's just a joke. Just a joke.
Oh.
Because you were all like, "Hey, they're two adults. What could possibly happen?" Like, poof.
It's like I leave it alone for 10 minutes.
Yep. But no, nothing has happened.
Alright, we'll go invisible.
Yep.
Actually, this is like right before we're trying to climb up the wall.
Well, I assume you would cast invisibility after, once you get relatively near. Oh, well,
yeah, once
invisibility
we get
lasts an hour.
close, because I don't want them to see us actually approaching the wall.
Okay.
I want to get somewhat close because I can locate object.
Okay.
And I will break invisibility.
True. How far? What's the range on locate object?
1,000 feet?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we can easily stay out of sight of the wall while you cast that.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. I don't know, guys. Kind of close there.
1,000 feet? I mean, there's stuff around. Like, what's around here? What's around here that can make us look natural?
What do you mean natural?
As in not weirdos, like just walking up to a wall. Like, is there stuff around here that's
Yeah, it's
like...
a residential area still. Like, it's not like the richest part of town, but it's still like one of the well-off parts of town. So there's like, you're walking through stone streets with houses, like 2-story houses. Their interiors being lit. There are a few businesses such as bakeries, which are now closed, of course. Small grocery stores and pubs that are still open for business, etc. There's a number of those things around.
Figure we just kind of like walk around behind the back of a pub and then out of sight, cast our spells.
Yeah, it's not too hard to find like an alleyway or something to cast your spells. There are people going around, but they're not like, specifically monitoring you that you know of.
Yeah, I cast
So-
locate object.
Okay.
I do not have it
what-
on my sheet because I can just cast it from the potion I've drank. So I don't have it on hand right now.
From the serum, yeah. What are you locating?
For metal similar to the one that Rala showed us from the bag.
Hmm. Describe or name an object that is familiar to you. Can locate a specific object known to you if you have seen it up close. Locate the nearest object of a particular kind, such as a certain kind of apparel, jewelry, furniture, tool, or weapon.
Yeah. So I'll
Of a particular kind, that should fit the bill then.
It's kind of
I mean,
a
if
vague
it-
description.
if
You're
it is the
essentially-
same type of metal, that is. But that's what Aluna's going with.
Yeah, it's kind of like a plate of refined metal, I guess.
You could like
Ruin.
describe it as like metal from the Moosespell Garden.
Ah, yeah. Specifically.
Well, you would be closer to the wall than you are to the furnace, so that works. Yeah, you'd probably be around here, right? Like just
Yeah,
like
somewhere around there.
Yeah.
close to the wall.
Out of sight of the wall, but like still close by.
In that case, you do feel sort of like a flux of energy. kind of like coursing through your body, going through it, and then heading in the direction of a specific point on the wall. Kind of like you can sense where it ends. It's one spot on the wall, exactly. So you know where you're going.
Luna will sort of nod to Myzel and say, "Gotta beat on something. Let's go."
Myzel will cast See Invisibility, immediately followed by Invisibility at 3rd level.
Ooh.
And then say into Iluna's head, "Lead the way. I'll be right behind you."
All right. I will make my way up the wall, climbing fast.
Okay, so you can see Luna, but Luna can't see you.
Correct.
Good. You're not gonna bump into her because she's going ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Myzel's also not going to climb the wall. He's going to fly and kind of keep a slight distance, mostly watching out for guards. So, like, as she's climbing up the wall, he'll fly up a little bit away from the wall and kind of look either direction for a guard.
All right, Luna, athletics check.
Can I make it acrobatics?
No. Hmm.
All right, wait. I should be proficient in that.
You should.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't carry over on this spell on the sheet, but that would be plus. Are we 3 or 4 right now?
Or 4.
It'd be a 13.
13. Okay. Scaling the wall proves to be a more difficult challenge than you expected. You can't quite find your a proper footing, and it seems like you're struggling a little bit to hoist yourself up with your arms. Even with like the help of your legs, etc., but it's quite hard. Perhaps you could eventually find your way up there if you start going around the wall and look for easier spots to climb, but right now it doesn't seem like you're going to be able to make it there.
Do I
I
see
make
any
a-
guards at the top of the wall right now?
Yes, as you fly up, while Luna is... And you can see that she's struggling a little to reach there. When you fly up, you notice that there is... They're not like bundled up in bags like the one you found. They are looser, and some even like a little bit more assembled, but still clearly like incomplete pieces of metal on the floor. And to either side of it, there are 2 guards, and they're sort of like conversing with the thing, like in the middle of them.
Okay. Myzel will just kind of tell her, "Hang tight for a moment. I want to listen to what they're saying."
Can I find like use perception check to find like probably a better way to get up the wall?
You can, but you also must make a stealth check first.
Advantage because I'm invisible?
No.
Okay.
You get down from the spot of the wall that you were trying to climb, and you begin more carefully looking at the wall to identify better spots to climb. You can make a perception check. It's going to take a few minutes, though. So, Myzel, you have an amount of time to examine or do something to the guards as you wish. Do you examine or do something to the guards?
He's just gonna land, like perched on the wall a little bit away from them, and then creep just within earshot. Like, actually, he doesn't even have to land on the wall. He can silently glide in, and then just latch onto the wall right before where they are, with his spider climb.
Dude is literally Batman.
Uh-huh.
Arkham Asylum.
Okay, stealth check advantage. Good. You silently glide as you intended and land like a ninja. While Luna is assessing the wall, you catch several minutes of the guards' conversation. They are mostly chatting about mundane things, gossip from the city. Let me just get something here. Where was my thing? Here. Yeah, gossip from the city. One of them talks about like the groceries he had bought, which came for like a pretty solid price for the day. You know, the Sluggers Championship that's going to be held on Saturday. They're kind of excited, placing bets on who's going to win. Once they get on that tangent, they begin more like excitedly speaking about like, you know, Iron Fist Hubert is like the town favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But one of them isn't having it. He thinks Hubert is getting up there in years. He's not. He's a sun elf. He doesn't live very long, so like it's kind of like, oh, he's gonna decline fast.
My soul just kind of say into Luna's head, these two are complete idiots. They're not saying anything useful. And we'll just kind of try and creep forward a little bit to see like what they're doing with the metal.
Bro, God forbid you have like a normal conversation
I
around
know.
myself.
If you're not spoiling the enemy's plan, you're an idiot.
Yeah, like how dare you just talk to your friend?
I do think Luna's trying to figure out why they're dumb. But in response to that, locate object lasts for 10 minutes. Can I sense like from sort of the general direction of where Mizell is sort of like hanging out, that I still sense the thing from the locate object?
Yeah, it's in the same spot and it's relatively close. It's probably where Mizell is looking at. And well, after several minutes have passed, you may make a second athletics check at advantage. You have found a spot that the wall seems a little more dilapidated, which gives you better odds of success. Oh boy.
That was so
Okay.
close.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay. The duality of one.
It did.
Yeah. Thankfully, you do manage to find a place that had many evenly spread out spots that seemed like you could put your hands and feet in coordinatingly to climb.
You failed, and so will you.
No, they actually succeeded this time.
I did.
So epic.
You climb up the wall, and you get there. It's a little bit of a distance from where the guards are, but you do manage to get up the wall this time safely.
Those are our guys. Are you trying to listen to them more, Mizell, or?
Yeah, he's kind of like at this point he's climbed up just a little bit closer to actually like see what they're doing sitting on the ground. So it looked
They're
like
not
they're trying to
sitting,
put Lego pieces. Oh, I thought you said they were sitting.
No, they're standing, sort of like the half-built contraption is between them, and they are standing on either side of it. Kind of like they are guarding like its sides, but they're just like staring at each other and talking.
Oh, okay. So they're not actually doing any work on it right now.
No, they're not doing anything to it. They're just
Mhm.
talking, really.
Okay. He'll just say to Luna,
How are you saying this to her?
telepathically.
Okay.
He'll say to her, they're just guarding this thing. I wonder if we can either distract them or something to steal it away.
Well, I have a nifty little portable bag that can put things into extra-dimensional space, and you can fly. Which is to say, make some noise and bring them away from here, and I'll put it in the bag.
All right. I can make some noise.
I feel like you're about to do something entirely too strong for what I'm asking.
No, my Zell will kind of find a loose rock and toss it down the passageway between the walls away from Aluna.
Down the passage. Okay.
Like you know how like there's the walking path along the wall?
Yeah.
He's gonna take a rock and toss it down that walking path. And kind of try and then make some like foot noises, like someone's trying to climb up the wall down on that end.
Okay, so you're flying over to that end and then sort of like tapping your feet on the wall.
Yeah. And then like kicking a pebble down. Actually, you know, instead of like going the pebble like going down the walking path, like the pebble maybe like falling down the side of the wall, like a little piece of wall broke off as trying to climb up.
Whoa. How do I even... Well, I guess it's simple enough to do.
I could do performance. I could do persuasion.
I think that's like, simple enough to do. Like, it's not
Okay.
necessarily something that takes that has a significant chance of failure.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the simple plans are the most effective.
Yeah. It's just a matter of the effectiveness of the plan itself, you know? Like there is no skill involved, just like, whether it's a good plan or a bad plan, it doesn't have a variable chance of it depending on Myzel's personal skill is what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
They cease to talk for a moment, and like the one closer to where Myzel is goes kind of like, "Did you hear that?" The other's like, yeah, kind of like I heard like a. You don't think someone's trying to scale the wall, do you? The other goes like, nah.
Myzel will kind of like let a foot slip on one of the stones and then like make a like kind of gasping sound and go quiet for a second.
Okay, that takes a performance check.
Oh.
The gasping sound is what could sound like super fucking fake if you don't do it right.
At the very least, it does still indicate someone's there.
But I love that you're
just
you're
moan.
just like,
you're probably better at that.
Oh my
Just
God.
what?
You're like
Just moan.
Oh my God!
You're like horizontally trying to go like Looney Tunes on purpose on the wall.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But
Is
yeah,
that an advantage? Because it's
No.
believable.
No, you're checking to see if it's believable. Bro, the DC was a 10. This is why I make you do checks sometimes.
This is why we hate checks, because it doesn't matter whether or not it's believable. There's some weirdo at the wall.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, but no, it's a little like he would be with a more casual attitude if it sounded like more genuine. But if it sounds like you're, because you're essentially like, oh, I'm trying to lure you away from the thing. So he's a little like, that is why, for instance, he is not going to approach where Myzel would be much, but rather just take a couple of steps away from the thing and peek his head out of the wall, like not at the exact spot where you were, but a little bit close, but a little bit farther away.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna peek out, and he's kind of like squinting, like has like a sort of like a W's look on his face. the other one goes like, "See anything out there?" I just go
Is
like,
that enough for Iluna to come in and swipe the goods?
How
well,
big is it,
only
by the way?
only one of them walked away from the thing. The other one is still standing right near it.
How big is
But
it?
is he looking away from it?
No, because like there was like one guy, the object, and then another guy.
How big is it?
Went to it's like a decently sized thing. It's like it's a bit wider than a person, but not as tall.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there was like a guy, the object, another guy. Iluna is to one side of it, and you're to the other side. So the one that is closer to you has gone to investigate, but the one that is closer to Iluna, which is essentially between Iluna and the thing, is still where he was.
Okay. Myzel will just kind of grumble with disgust at the lack of believability and toss a what's the thing called?
Grenade.
Yeah, 100%, just a casual grenade. No, it's the hypnotic pattern up into sight of both of the guards and give a quick look away for a moment. Actually to Iluna, and he's positioning it so that she's not really in range of it.
Yeah, that's like a.
You could just mentally tell me, and I could
Mhm.
walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
It's
like a
a
30-foot radius, you can easily cover just the, position
Mhm.
it so she's out of the area.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of save is that?
It is a wisdom save.
Okay. Grab him a dice.
A wise dom.
Wise Dom. Yep.
Grab him a dice.
Oh, I just remembered something.
Why were there?
Myzel is now visible, but has moved to a spot where it where the guard is not looking, so that he should not be seen.
Okay, you perform the seizure procedure on the guards,
Yep.
and both of them seem to stop for a second, and they are clearly affected. Both of them are sort of staring out into space, a little bit of
Mhm.
drool on their mouths.
Yep. Okay. Iluna is still invisible because Myzel's holding concentration on both spells. So he'll say, "They're distracted. Go ahead and get it. But try it. Yeah, go ahead and get it."
Okay. I will grab it. And is it how heavy is it?
Pretty heavy. The plates are fairly hefty.
Alright. I just see a visual of this again. What is this thing?
Okay, so currently it is not fully formed. It seems to be a sort of a base, like a quadrangular base with then this sort of cylinder, almost like a canister, as its sort of body, but it's incomplete. So it just has sort of the back half of the cylinder. And if it would have a top portion at all, it doesn't.
Okay. And if you had to give it a weight, how much are you thinking here?
Well,
Enough for Lena to carry, or enough for Lilia to carry?
I think it's kind of you can lift it if you have at least maybe 14 or 15 strength. But you can't move it normal speed while lifting it, essentially.
Okay. I'll make a perception check really quick, just sort of down, if I were to look off to the side of the wall, if there are people down there.
Like right by the wall?
Like if I were to pick it up and then jump down.
It doesn't seem like it would hit anyone. Like people don't make a habit of moving that close to the wall at this time of day.
Okay. Then Eluna's going to cast enlarge, jump down, pick it up, jump down, and then cast Featherfall.
Okay, you're going to uninvisibilize.
Yes, for that moment.
Hypnotic pattern.
Is
Make
1
sure-
minute.
Has the charm. While charmed, the creature has the incapacitated condition. Can't take any action, no concentration, can't speak. You're incapacitated. Okay, but they are still aware. They're not unconscious.
Yeah. So my Iluna could be would still be invisible as she went over the wall. But
But
then
when she casts enlarge, she's dropping invisibility because she's casting a spell.
oh, I didn't realize she was casting enlarge.
Yes, she was casting
I missed
enlarge
that part.
to pick
I
the
think-
thing up and
I
jump
have
down.
to care. Well,
Yeah,
Hang on a
like
second.
my Zell probably was gonna say like try to still stay out of sight.
yeah, let me think about it.
Yeah, like the guards can't move, but they're gonna know because they can still see.
Yeah.
Well, they can still see. Okay. Oh, how long do I have? A minute?
A
A
minute
minute.
of them being stunned or not stunned,
Well-
incapacitated.
We'll blindfold them.
Okay, you're going to put
What?
you're going to produce a piece
Sneaky.
of clothing and sort of like tie it around their heads.
Yeah, just some cloth I have.
My Zell's just
I've-
gonna, what are you doing?
Roll sleight of hand. You have a minute to blindfold 2 people. Let's,
Okay.
it's not terribly hard, but okay, that's fine. You can quickly produce like 2 pieces of fabric that were not prepared beforehand from your possessions and tie them around the heads of these 2 guards. It takes you like, I don't know, 20 to 30 seconds.
I had actually extra clothes in Luna's inventory. I just don't think you would have liked what they were. So I'm glad you decided just arbitrary clothing.
I would not ask.
Yeah, you're not.
Okay, after you do that, are you gonna cast enlarge?
Yeah, I'll do those things in conjunction. Enlarge, jump off, Featherfall. Or actually, how far down is it?
We had established it was about as tall
30
as the
feet.
Great Wall of China. So
It was. I think we said it was 30 feet because my
China.
Zell was able to
Yeah.
Misty step down from it.
yeah, it's about 30 feet. The Great Wall of China is ranges from about 26 feet to 46 feet.
Wow.
Alright. Yep. Enlarge, jump down, Featherfall within the last 10 feet.
Mm-hmm. And then my Zell will just out of sight. Well, actually, they're blindfolded, so it doesn't matter. But still, not going too high. Just climb back over the edge of the wall, tap Iluna, and cast invisibility on themselves again.
That
Okay.
floating stone statue.
As you do that, like right about the time that you manage to reach her and do that, the guards, the spell ends on them, and they both seem to what the? And they reach out and remove their blindfolds, and you can hear them going like, "Dude, what the fuck happened to the thing? I don't, bro. I heard something big, just jumping down there. Should we tell someone? I think we should probably tell someone."
I want to know who they tell.
They are currently in sort of alert mode, going looking frantically out of the walls on both sides, looking for someone, someone carrying a large metal object.
My Zell will tell Iluna, get that back to the house. I want to see if they do or say anything interesting now that it's missing.
Alright, be safe.
They'll never know I was here.
This only lasts a minute. So
Oh, enlarge does?
Yeah. Would I be able to find a way to put this into the bag of holding?
How much can the bag of holding hold again?
500 pounds.
Pounds to kilogram. 200 kilograms. Yeah, yeah, you can.
I was like looking up boulders. I was like, how big is a boulder?
Yeah, it's like definitely like liftable, you know. So it would be probably around like 60 to 70 kilograms. It's not like massive.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put it into the bag and silently pray that I always have a Lilia by my side to carry things.
But yeah, you are going back to the agreed upon rendezvous spot, while Maisel will be tailing these guards for a little bit longer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to pick that back up later. Well, rather, you're going to probably be the last one to join the group, but just to not deliver any unnecessary suspense on this, they seem to essentially discuss like going up the natural like guard hierarchy. So they're kind of like, should we tell our supervisor? Or should we like call like the commander directly? Like what? It doesn't seem like they are quite aware of why they were guarding that thing.
This is giving stormtrooper energy.
Essentially, yes. Like these are
Right.
not like
See,
plotting-
they are idiots.
Yeah, they're not.
They're just
Well, it's not-
guys.
Yeah.
They're simply some dudes.
They're just doing their job, bro. They're paid to do shit, and they're doing the shit. Like
They're
not
simply
adventurers.
commoners.
Common dudes. Make a living. They probably are well-meaning citizens.
yeah, They
They're a
don't
little
deserve this
airheaded.
But anyway, you're gonna spend a little bit of time seeing if you can figure out if they're gonna tell anyone relevant. But you know, they're gonna call a middle manager essentially.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the guard
What do they
equivalent of a middle manager. So you can keep tailing the guy if you wish. But you do know that you're probably going to be considerably late to the
Yeah.
rejoining.
Maisel's just gonna like hang around for a little bit, to see like if like the middle manager then goes to anyone relevant to like how far can I like listen to this up the chain.
Dear Lord.
Okay, since you're deciding to stick around with that, we're gonna pick that back up later.
Okay.
Now then, we're going to move over to the Lilia Rala side.
Aurelia.
You are going to the farthest one.
Yup.
So you have a bit of a walk to get there. Is there any talk
Excuse
you would
me.
like to get?
Excuse me 1 second,
Yes.
please. Can I break the fourth and fifth wall 1 second?
What's the fifth wall?
I don't know, but I've rushed home after work to play, and I haven't had a chance to shower. So since it's somebody else's turn, can I like AFK real quick and then come back?
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna rush. Dude, I feel disgusting. So-
Rush B.
Yeah.
Okay.
Push the
Lilia
button.
Rala, is there any talking you wish to do on the walk?
I mean, we can pick up the
Yeah.
conversation that I'd lost the plot of in the. I mean, like, I feel like Miss makes me feel older than I am. I don't know.
Well, you're older than me, so
Yeah, but Miss makes me sound like I'm responsible.
are you not?
I mean, yeah, but like, I don't know. It feels like Miss is for when you're like, that or if you're like a fancy lady or something.
Well, I mean, you could be.
I mean, I suppose so. I don't know. Miss always sounds like. Would it be weird if someone younger than you called you Miss Rala?
She kind of like shudders at that. Ugh. No, that sounds weird.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Just
I mean, wait, how old are you again?
I turned 13 a couple months ago.
Okay, so you're only like 4 years younger than me.
Looking up.
I mean,
difference.
I've always been kind of tall for my age, though. I think probably by the time I was your age, I was maybe as probably tall as Noah, maybe taller. Yeah, they called me Long Legs Lilia for a while. That was pretty awful.
That's a cool name.
I mean, maybe like to be called it once, but when everyone calls you that all the time, it gets a little old.
I never had a nickname. Well, Miss Lilia.
Yeah, Rolla.
I don't know. I lost my train of thought.
I'm just desperately gripping onto my accent right now, just
Yeah.
trying so hard not to lose it.
Lily Longlegs.
Lily Longlegs.
I lost my train of thought entirely.
R.I.P.
Yeah. So, yeah, how come they made us go so far? They just got the ones right there.
Probably something about we're young, so we can take the physical activity or something.
Are you calling them old?
I mean, older than us. Well, I don't know. Noah kind of both is and isn't.
No. Yeah, you guys have said that like a few times. What does that mean?
Well, it's kind of how like Gigi's only been in that form for a little bit, but has been around for a lot longer.
Okay. Just completely fine with that explanation of things.
Also completely fine with giving that explanation because it seems the most accurate, but it's also insane.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that of like both is and isn't old.
So I should still call him Mr. Noah.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a little weird. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, Mr. Noah's still good.
So I know Mr. Moisel can like froosh up there. How are we gonna get up there?
Oh, I can just carry on my back and I can climb.
Alright. Well, that seems simple.
Yeah, it should be pretty easy.
Can't you just actually jump up there fully?
The disrespect.
Maybe I would have to roll a strength athletics check for it.
I thought your jump was like 30 feet.
It's mini plus I can spend a hit die to add an athletics roll to it. Or I can also just simply give myself a climb speed.
Yeah, I just remember you pinning our twink to a tree, so I was just
Yeah,
like...
I think I can get like a 40-foot vertical or something. It's bonkers.
What?
It's stupid.
And then add Dragoon into that at some point.
Yeah, I will eventually just be able
Have
to
you-
break the sound barrier and vertical jump.
Have you guys ever seen that post which was like, oh, lions can jump up to like 30 feet or 40 feet or something, and someone was like, no, they can leap that distance, like horizontally. if they could jump 40 feet, it was where's the fucking thing? Lion jump, leap, me.
You ever seen a jaguar do a backflip at a tree?
No.
Here, I found it. Lions are very
That
good.
would be
fighters.
Lilia just
They can jump 36 feet. No, they can leap 36 feet. As it leap for. They don't jump 36 feet into the fucking sky. Do you know how terrifying that would be?
Yeah. If anything, that would be jaguars, and they only jump down from things. Typically.
Yeah. Anyway, you have multiple ways of going around this, but so I assume from the flow of the conversation, you guys would be approaching the wall.
Yeah. We
Okay.
definitely didn't stop for snacks.
Yep.
No one can prove it, so it didn't happen.
Okay, you stop for snacks first,
I
and then
didn't
you
mean to do that.
and then you head to the thing. This spot on the wall is as the map like puts it. It's close to like sort of like an outpost, so it's not just a random spot on the wall, but actually there is a structure like a mini fort-like thing. It looks like a bit of an outpost. There's probably room for like a couple of wider rooms with a small interconnecting one that maybe like a bathroom or it's probably some sort of ladder going inside the wall or something like that. But there is like a larger structure there.
I would see if there's like a roof nearby that we could get up onto to get a good lookout first before we try and climb it.
You're gonna what?
See if there's like a roof nearby that we could go on top of and scout out the like guard rotations and movements before we try and climb the wall.
There is, yeah. This little outpost-like thing has a stone roof carved over it.
Oh, that's the
it's sort of
outpost
like a
of the guard? Like,
No, it's like a watchtower built into the wall itself.
okay. So like this is just like a house that we could...
Yeah, that would be just a house. You could
Okay.
theoretically use the houses as a starting point to climb the wall, but it's a little bit far. It's not glued to the wall.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to find a place to get like a vantage point to look out.
Okay. You can fairly easily like climb onto houses. I'm just gonna need a little bit of a stealth check for purposes of you're climbing someone's house.
Yeah.
And then a perception check once you're up there, sort of like scout out the area.
Raleigh, you want to ride up?
Sure.
I'll just take her on my back, and you don't happen to be like make us be able to be sneaky or anything, do you?
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. I mean, we're just gonna kind of wing it and see what happens.
Okay, 15. It's not like completely silent, but there is not a lot of disturbance as you find like the backside of some house and climb up. Nobody complains, at least. You don't hear any alarms.
Hopefully, they'll just think it must have been the wind.
Must have been the wind. So a perception check now.
Is Raleigh making one too?
Both of us, yeah.
Sure. Damn. Rolla rolled privately for the lows.
That's the new thing.
Well, Ralla, it's a little bit difficult. You have you are not as vertically privileged as Lilia is, so it's a bit difficult to make out.
Oh, stop biting me!
It's still a little bit above your field of vision's height. As for Lilia, however, with the gift of long legs, as you were previously discussing, you do manage to make out through gaps in the sort of like watchtower-like structure, like little windows. You make out about 3 people posted inside that watchtower. Seem to be making idle chatter sometimes, but not always. Like moving about. Seem to be stationed there.
Rala, how much do you know about Lackens?
I think I read about him in a book once.
Well, there may be a backup plan that involves the fact that I am one. Of if worst case scenario, I think I'm just going to distract them all away if it comes to that. It just kind of gives you a very awkward smile of like,
I can make a distraction if you want.
oh, I mean, that works too.
So Schultz, like, you know, all right, mission accepted. They're
So
like
here's
on
and then she'll kind of
tower.
like, yeah, she'll give the lowdown of like, so it's a guard tower. Like we're looking
it-
at a.
Inside the wall or outside the wall?
Sorry, what?
Is like the guard tower like on the inside of the wall or on the outside of the wall?
Sort of like both sides, but more to the outside.
Oh. Okay. I don't know if I can get them down, but I can distract them.
I mean, yeah, we just got to be able to. We're going for the metal pieces, right? That's what we're here for.
Yeah. I don't
Okay.
know what we're supposed to do with them, but
Yeah, I mean, all this like magic stuff, I kind of get a little lost sometimes when everyone's talking about it.
it's all right. I can figure it out.
I just mean, just tell me what to grab, and I can grab it. But it's just like a big piece of metal.
Anything that looks strange.
All right.
And,
So
she'll like take out the little piece of ruined metal she had before and said, you know, try to like hand it to her. Like, if it looks like this, that's probably it.
So what do we think? Do you want to like distract them and I like run up in there and grab everything, or?
Yeah, that sounds like a plan to me.
All right. I mean,
hold on. I gotta rethink this. Forgot about casting time. Darn casting time.
What spell is this?
She's just gonna cast Time Stop out of nowhere.
You guys time
Can
stop.
you imagine?
I will do 50 push-ups if he does time stop.
Do time stop right now.
No, I can't. Yet.
I like the
Yeah.
implication that you would make me do 50 push-ups if you could. That's what that implied. I don't want to get that lost in the fact that you can't. The way you said that.
Shoot, yeah. I was going to make a boom, but I cannot make the boom.
Yes, Rico. Kaboom.
What boom are you gonna make that cast that needs time? That's a big. What?
It requires
Delayed
Delayed blast
fireball.
fireball. Yeah.
it requires an hour to cast, and you inscribe a glyph that later unleashes a magical effect.
Oh.
So she'll begin to like get down off the roof, but then sort of stop herself halfway and like, wait, no, this is gonna take too long. How about I don't know. I can like make it. I can make us go faster. Do you think that would help?
I mean, it probably wouldn't hurt.
Okay. Then she'll sort of put Gigi down on the ground and like between her and Lilia, and sort of grab Lilia's hand, and she's going to cast haste on both of them. Just
You guys have
as a
1 minute.
All right, go time.
thumbs up. So
Wait, so am I distracted or am you distracted?
we're just gonna go real fast.
All right. I just grab Lily and leap.
How?
Grab Rala.
Oh yeah, no, I grabbed myself. Arms wrapped securely around myself.
Speed.
Giving myself a hug.
What's your jumping distance?
Let me find the jump calculator.
Yes.
Because I've
The
got a couple-
jumpulator.
Yeah, I will rage for it.
Oh my god.
Why not?
Bro, why shouldn't I?
Lydia miscalculates and ends up in the next town.
I accidentally break the sound barrier again. Damn it!
Did you hear about? It was some blurry thing just flew by the
So I get
wall
it.
today.
It's trying to find the correct feature on my sheet that gives me things. When I enter, I also get to move an additional half of my speed on the turn I enter my rage. But that's not what I'm needing. Where is the... Is it not where I think it is? Sorry. I know it's somewhere on here. Be still sold. Okay. I can extend my jump equal to an athletics check. Advantage. So 31 feet plus.
I think you're there. I think you got it.
Hold on. Let me do math.
You gotta arrive at the final number. It's for science.
Said
Strength.
said the
You're on the
exact
roof,
height of
too.
the wall.
Plus an additional 8. Wait, no, 20 horizontal. Wait, am I trying to make a horizontal or vertical? Vertical jump.
Both kind of, because you're leaping from like the house to the outpost, which reduces the amount of verticality you need, but increases like you need some horizontal.
Yeah, I can increase my horizontal another 20 feet.
Sure, that's
I think you
enough.
got it.
Yeah,
You know, like sometimes Ravenna just does stuff, and we're like, yeah.
Yeah,
Plus
my
the
carrying
double
capacity
speed from
also
haste.
counts as a large, so Rala is no hassle to carry whatsoever.
Yep, you just pick Rala up, and then you get a little bit of a running start, because the house isn't that has a little bit of width to it, and then you plant your feet and like crack a little bit of the tiles on the roof of this house, the roof tiles even, and you do this like massive fucking leap through the air, and in a calculated fashion you land on top of the watchtower. It's a sturdy like stone watchtower. Though landing there still, still like a bit of a hard landing, pretty hefty jump, but it doesn't make like an incredible amount of noise because it is, a resistance structure. But it also probably made some noise.
Okay. And then I'll kind of give her all a look of like, all right, I got us across.
Just like whiplashed.
I just like imagine Rala with like the character like cheeks blowing in the wind during the jump.
Einstein here.
So, if we're up there now,
Oh, we should probably try and hide our faces, and I'll just like pull my cloak up over my face.
Like pulls her jacket slightly above her head. We should have done that before.
Yeah, probably. I'm not used to this sort of thing.
See, this
I
is
don't
really
think I've
what
ever
we
done
should
a
have been.
crime before.
You guys are worrying about Noah and Lakina?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
thinking the same thing.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah,
what
well-
I'm saying.
well, that's why I said it'll be fine, probably. You know, so
Y'all
they don't
worry
talk
about
to
your
anyone.
damn
No, I knew
selves.
this was gonna be a cluster
no.
from the second
I
it was
wasn't worried-
decided, and I was just like, yes.
I wasn't worried about you guys doing it. I was worried about if someone called you on it, what you guys would say and
the
what it would lead.
consequences.
Our guard was just like, Lady Lucina, you can't take that. And she's just like, well, I'm going to. Like, what goes on from there?
No, will be like, well, she's the boss. She said she will.
Okay,
so
we're
now
gonna see to that later. Let's not play the scene out before it plays.
I'm preparing.
And we jump cut over to Noah and Lucina.
But
Hey, you guys still need to grab this thing.
Yeah, I have some stupid movement speed. I'm simply going to be too fast for them to see me.
Okay, you're gonna just leap down to like the one side of the entrance to the watchtower, because this is like there are two sort of like doorways to each side of the watchtower, besides like slits and windows, which are, you could theoretically go in through them, but they are a little narrow, would require a little bit of maneuvering. Alternatively, you could leap to to the sides of those things and see if they are open, or if you would need to like kick a door down. Or you could just try to like break through the roof, I guess, which is a little bit more involved, but not impossible.
Really, you got any better ideas besides just running in there?
No,
All right, I'm gonna go run in there then.
I didn't think that.
Did any of you all read Aragon?
Many, 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 many years ago.
A long time.
This is giving the scene where Aragon is breaking out of prison and Saphira just like lands on the roof and just rips the roof of the guardhouse off.
Yeah, at what
That's
point
what I
has
imagined
Lilia
that moment.
ever been a subtle character?
Okay, so are you leaping down to the wall?
Yeah.
All right. As you leap down there, you catch the moment that a guard is opening, like has the door open, and was heading out to go like, what the fuck was that sound on the roof?
I go in the door.
And then it just leaped right in front of him. And
Hit him.
yeah, you have like a second of action because he's clearly a bit stunned to see you there.
I'm in the door. I'm going.
You just bum rush through him.
Yes.
This guy almost falls like out of down the wall itself. You get into the watchtower, and it's, as I said, like two stone rooms with a couple more guards in there, one on each of these rooms. One is a female Jotun, like a pretty large lady with like hefty arms, and the other is a little bit of a slimmer Huron man. Kind of like a clean crew haircut with a well-kept beard. Both of them see you coming in, and in the middle, like on the connection between these two rooms, there is a device that has like a rectangular base, a cylinder, and this one has the cylinder a little bit more complete, and you can see that the cylinder ends in like a pole sort of thing, kind of like stretching out with a few kind of like rod-like things sticking out of the thing, like an antenna. As you dash into the watchtower, that is what you see. The guards obviously are in the middle of reacting, like reaching towards their weapons. What are you doing?
Running in, grabbing thing, running out.
Okay. Well, you run in, and then you're going to grab the thing and then dash out. Give me an athletics check.
Absolutely.
At advantage.
Yeah.
'Cause she's
If you're raging.
Oh man. 6 and a 7. Woof.
Okay.
It's only 20.
There is some clutter in this room. The thing is a little bulky. It's heavier than the one that Iluna picked up because it's a bit more complete. It has more parts. And the guards are like actively trying to grab you and stop you from leaving. You are able to clear some of these obstacles. Like you can bulldoze through like the obstacles of the room and then pick the thing up and begin leaving. But you're not quite able to stop like the guards, which are, if you had like blasted through this with an insane athletics check, I would be like, oh, you just fucking shoulder tackle the guards and they don't have the opportunity to react that well. But it wasn't the case. They do manage to sort of like, as you were leaving, they are standing on top of you and you can't just quite tackle them out. Rala, are you doing anything in the middle of this quick succession of events?
Well, she would have like gotten to the door because obviously she's not as fast as Lilia, so she would have probably gotten to the door as Lilia was like already shoulder tackling in, and I guess she would try to make another distraction to like get them to not look at Lilia for half a second, and she's got her jacket kind of like way above her head, so it's kind of like providing shade, and I don't know, she'll try to cause whatever light's reflecting to I don't know, appear to be larger or not human, and try to making noises to distract them.
All right. Are you using any specific spells for this?
Not currently, no.
Okay.
Foreboding.
Are you using magic, or are you trying to improvise with like tools?
No. Is her jacket a tool? She's just trying to like.
Yeah.
I'm scary. Look at me.
Okay, roll a performance check.
Can't even get to intimidating.
Oh.
And FYI, as you get down there, you recognize that the human guard is Mr. Kierheim, the guy who usually brings you back home.
Oh shit.
Oh, we're cooked,
so,
fam. We're cooked.
yeah, his colleague, which is a larger woman, is currently trying to grapple Lilia, which, by the way, she rolls like an 11 to grapple, so that's not enough, like, for now. But while she is trying to stop Iluna, he just kind of looks at you, and you're going like, "Arr!" And he goes like, "Wait, aren't you?" And while all of this is happening, the other guy that Lilia had previously tackled away is behind you, Rala. He's this a little bit shorter fellow, looks to be somewhat older as well, and he's like, "Intruders! We, I don't even know what this is, but we must call reinforcements." Seems to be reaching towards his waist.
No. She's gonna try and run up and kind of. I know Miss Lucina said no, not to do it, but she's gonna give him the old smack.
On who?
The guy trying to reach for the communication thing.
Correct. He was reaching for a horn.
Yeah.
Okay, make an attack roll. Lilia, what are you doing in the midst of this? The female guard is trying to grapple you currently, but she has not succeeded at that, and the male guard seem to have stopped looking at Rala and is falteringly approaching her, it seems. Rala, that is a hit. You can roll damage.
Oh, fuck.
God.
22 damage.
Non-lethally?
Okay. No, of course.
Okay, you bonk this guy straight in the head, and he just passes out like a light, like half his body. Not half his body, but he's like leaning on the railing, like his head a little bit on the other side of the wall, like just out cold. Lydia, what are
Is
you
that
doing?
the one who recognized Rala by chance?
No, it's not.
No, it's
Damn.
folded.
Need that guy to take a header so that he just like forgets this ever happened, right?
That's Lilia's. That's where I'm going.
Okay, what are you doing?
I'm going to attempt to just knock him the fuck out.
Okay, what are you hitting him with?
Just like an elbow.
A closed fist.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I mean, my fist
Actually,
kind
elbows fucking hurt, man.
Know the
have a
meaty
good-
part of the bottom of your fist? Do that.
Oh,
Don't
is
hit
that
him with your
true? Okay,
elbow.
yeah.
That hurts so bad. I've elbowed people and been elbowed. It's not fun.
I'll just try and
Well-
do a hammer drop on him.
For mechanical purposes, like your unarmed strikes, if they're not done with like your actual claws, they're just gonna be like 1 plus strength, like as normal.
Yeah. But I would still get my rage bonus.
Sure.
Let's see. Oh. I'm just gonna try and roll my regular attack, and we'll just adjust the damage if I can find it. Man, I know this character sheet so well. It's great. Damage would actually be 6 plus 2 plus what, a d4?
That just barely hits, but damage would be 1 plus strength plus rage bonus.
Okay, so it would be 1 plus 6 plus 2. What's my rage bonus? 2, I think.
That was 3. Yeah,
Let me find it. Hold on. Where's my player's
3
handbook?
by now. By now it should be 3.
I don't think it's correct. To my sheet. Okay.
Our party is
So 1 plus 6 plus 3 is 10.
Yeah.
It rolled correctly.
10 is not enough to knock him out.
Okay. I'll hit him again.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, I mean, it might as well be reckless.
Yeah.
So it's still 10. It ended up rolling another 4 on the die.
Okay. With that, you do manage to knock him out. As he's beginning to head towards Rala, you still carrying the thing, you go towards him and hit him like twice with your elbow, like sort of like forehand and then backhand. The backhand hits him like straight in the nose, and he just like tumbles
Oh,
backward.
oops.
Definitely broke his nose there. Like there's a hefty amount of bleeding. But he is out cold. However, you have recklessly attacked, which will give the other guard, which was trying to grapple you, an additional chance with enhanced odds.
A reminder: you have hasted actions.
Oh, I do.
That's true. So
That was
Rala would
hasted.
get another bonk potentially as well.
That's true. You can try to do
Rala and
something.
Lilia both get extra bonks.
I
You
will
can
do
try
a
to do
bonk.
something as the other guard is trying to grab you.
Tag team bonk.
Knock her out too.
Bonk.
17 is enough to hit. That deals another 10 damage, which again doesn't knock her out cold. But 21 does hit her.
Dull sounds of metal and meat.
Just people. Oh.
The non-lethal bonks.
Yeah, you elbow her and she like sort of like takes it, but is still in the process of like grabbing you and getting you to unhand the device. And then Rala comes in with the steel chair. And
Yeah, I imagine
right
like I
between
knock her
these-
head down and then Rolla just goes with the uppercut on it.
Yeah, like poof. The woman also like flies backward into like hits her back toward the wall and falls to the floor unconscious. So you have 3 unconscious guards in your vicinity, and Lilia has the device on her hands.
Well,
Get out of there.
yeah, we gotta probably go now. I'm gonna grab anything else that looks odd or important, and then grab Rolla and go.
Okay, there's nothing else that looks odd here. Like this is just a conspicuous thing. The rest is like, you know, maps of the city and of the surrounding regions, letters, orders, guard shifts, that sort of thing. So you grab the object. Are you just leaping down the wall again and running through the streets with the big ass device on your hands?
I'm gonna just try and get like off the wall and behind somewhere to hide, so we can figure out a way to get this out inconspicuously.
Our house is nearby, and there's
Oh.
no one of conscience to follow.
Yeah, all right. I'm just running to the house then. I'm gonna bundle. Oh gosh,
It's
I
not
don't
like
know.
it's not like right by the wall. You would still have to run, like jog a little bit through the streets carrying the thing.
Rala does.
I'm trying to
have
think of a way to make it less conspicuous that I'm carrying something. Like, could I put it on, like, tie it to my back and then have Rala like ride my back like a piggyback to like hide
Rala-
the thing?
She has a
Wait,
bag of
Ra-
holding.
Oh,
For a
all right.
pouch.
Yeah, let's just put it in there. I was trying to think of other ways, and I forgot that there was a bag.
Yeah, I was like, you're not asking the
I could
spellcaster
put
for help.
yeah.
Did you figure that out from looking at my bag?
Yes.
Nice.
Okay, so you're both going to leap back towards the floor. And by the way, there is some attention being drawn there. Like nobody's right by your vicinity, but there's definitely a little bit of commotion. Like what the fuck? You safely tuck the device into the bag of holding. As soon as it reaches sort of like the bag's open, it like is sucked into the extra dimensional space, and you can sort of like make a break for the house if you wish.
I kind of want to like hustle a block away and then kind of like rearrange ourselves and then look like we were confused about the commotion.
Very well, very well. And as a reminder, like the house is not the meeting spot; it's the temple. If you wish, you can stop by the house, but that's not like the end destination.
It was just to kind of like take a second,
Yeah.
make sure no one's on
The
us.
heat's off.
Yeah.
GTA style.
Yeah.
Gotta wait for the
Change
threat
our
meter to go down.
clothes, Maybe.
What is
Okay,
going on
roll-
out there, neighborhood?
Roll a stealth check using charisma.
Okay. So it's just -1.
If you shift click on the check, you can tell it to use a different ability.
Damn, that's fancy.
Oh, shwanky.
So that what's your charisma what?
It's a 2 instead of a 3.
Did you
Okay.
want one for me as well, or?
Are you still raging, by the way?
Oh, I am. I would get to
Okay.
add my.
Yeah, you can use your strength in place of other modifiers.
so it would be a 5 instead, so 15.
Okay, so 15.
She's really hungry, guys. She got to get back home.
I'm so hungry, guys. I ran so far. I jumped so much. It uses so many calories. I gotta make sure I hit my macros still.
Rala.
Was it
Stealth check.
with charisma? You said.
Using charisma, yes.
Oof. So cute.
All right, so Lilia, you still in your adrenaline-fueled state. You channel like the primal woven instincts that are still coursing through your body, and they manage to steal your nerves, and you regain your composure and act sort of like blending into the crowd. Rala, though, is definitely doing like the looking to the side and whistling thing, like when you're pretending you didn't do anything. It's very conspicuous. Nobody stops to give you shit about it, but it's quite conspicuous.
I feel like that's her natural state, though, right?
Yeah, I was just like, I feel like that's how Rala is regularly perceived.
Yeah, but there are beads of sweat like going through down her face. Well, is there anything else you would like to do on your way back to the temple?
No, nope.
No.
Has it been enough damage to the city?
Hey, nothing's broken. Aside from maybe
A
Aside from
nose.
that guy's nose.
Oh
and
god, we should have set his nose before we left. Oh shit.
Poor man.
I don't really know. I probably could figure
It's
it out.
a very bad night to be just doing your job in Great Helm. Like if you don't get blunt force trauma, you get disrespected, and I don't know what's worse.
Hey,
Hey,
she
Hey.
said sorry.
Aluna was perfectly polite in her robbery.
That hypnotic pattern might have left some brain damage. You'd never know.
I didn't cast it. Did I cast it?
Nope.
Exactly.
You were compliant. Anyway.
It was just cute little fairy sparkles, and that they were mesmerized.
Little fairy sparkles. I'm gonna just get a glass of water before we head into the third.
Actually, though, it was just pollen. They were just too busy sneezing at the pollen coming off my Zell's wings. Because it's pollen season in the U.S.
It's not.
Mr.
quite-
Brazil is just like, I don't know what that means.
It's not quite in New York yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm just sick because the weather keeps changing seasons all the time. It's just ping ponging between like 40 and 70 every other day.
We had 1 week of warm, and then it was just like, how about if we did winter for 1 more week? And that's all that happened. Like legitimately, like it's been just cold since then. Cold last 2 weeks.
Why is that such a thing? People get sick when the weather changes so frequently
It's
and
the
drastically?
change in barometric pressure. If you have sensitivity to like sinus issues, it makes it more prone to like holding stuff in your sinuses, and that creates a breeding ground for bacteria and making you sick more often.
Wow.
What I get is migraines when the weather changes too
The
frequently.
pressure changes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. Me
It's
too.
Often
Often
Bing.
when we get into this kinds of topics in D&D, I forget that we have like very smart people playing with us, and they know things.
Like
Wow.
we'll just be like, making dick
Thanks.
jokes and butt jokes, and then we like say something actually intelligent.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like that with everyone, right? Like everyone has like pearls of knowledge from different things of life.
Dude,
And
I'm
it
telling
just
you,
catches me off guard sometimes because we're silly.
I feel like
These little goofy goobers.
this is literally every single day I live with Lindsay. I just throw shit out into the world. I'm just like, I wonder if she knows the answer to this. And she
Look,
has so many random facts.
If you get stuck on Wikipedia enough times, just wiki walking your way down multiple like pages upon pages, just pick things up.
Wiki walking.
Wiki walking.
Right. Now we go to the last pair, Lucina and Noah.
You can
we had
also
last off-
refer to us as the best pair. Don't be shy.
Sure, she did. Last off, Lucina had, in her usual fashion, as soon as the conversation was done, she began marching off towards your destination, which is the southern spot. Noah, you are free to follow her in whatever way you wish.
I don't. Can you imagine? No.
Immediately starts off.
Yeah, sabotages it immediately, like first
Just
minute.
walk the other way. No.
Immediately ignorant.
Can you ping again where exactly we're going?
Here,
Uh.
right beside the asylum.
Oh, there. Okay. Okay.
There's
yeah.
a black circle inside the
Yeah.
purple circle.
I see she's probably like stomping off in typical Lucina fashion. And I'm going to follow her quickly and then ask, so, Lucina, why do you do all this?
What do you mean?
Well, taking on all these responsibilities and standing up for so many people.
She takes like a glance at you. Because this is my home.
So it's kind of normal to want to, I guess, sacrifice so much for one's home?
She kind of like she had glanced towards you, and now she's just talking while like looking in the direction she's going, sort of. But you can tell it's she's kind of like looking at the horizon in a certain way. I don't know if it's normal, but I feel like this is my home and I wish to protect it. The people of the city have never liked me, but I like the city. And the people of the city are a part of it, and so I protect all of it.
You said the people of the city don't like her.
Yes.
Even though they don't like you?
Correct.
And what made you feel that way? I can imagine there's a lot of people who wouldn't want to protect anybody like that.
I cannot speak for those people. I don't know how to answer your question. This has always felt like my home. I like the weather of the city and the architecture and the smells of the streets and the mixture of modernized apparel with not as well kept buildings. I suppose I also appreciate the people, but not. It's not that I like them personally, you could say. More so that they are the people of Great Helm and they are part of the place that is my home.
You're pretty noble, huh?
Normal.
Noble.
Noble.
I do not believe I am.
I think you are.
Raytown has no nobility.
Not like that. Noble, like in your heart.
She kind of like just. I don't know what makes you say that, but you're afraid.
I've just read a lot of books, and you strike me as a noble person. Like the hero of a story. Protector of the weak. A guardian of... not quite the galaxy, but... the city that is Greathelm.
Fighting evil by moonlight.
I have not been often described like that.
Well, I'm happy to be the first to do that. But that aside, Lakina, how exactly are we going to go about this now?
Before that, I have a question for you as well, Noah Westergaard.
Just kind of shimmy a little bit.
She stops walking and like looks more directly at you. What is your story?
I could give you the usual answer that I would give to somebody that I don't know all that well, which would be, huh, I wish you could tell me that. But my story, and I kind of lean in a little bit, and I'm only telling you this because I feel like you are very trustworthy and noble. But it seems like I'm not a real person, really. At least not in the sense that how you are. I'm a little different. And for the sake of like epic flavor, I'm just going to like hold out my left hand where the ring is, and I'm going to make my hand just kind of melt a little bit. And then shape it back into its usual form. I don't think there's any blood inside me. I don't really think I have a heartbeat, although I make my heartbeat just to fit in, I guess. I don't really think I need to sleep or eat. But in addition to that, I also have no idea what I'm here to do. Fuck, that sounded so stupid.
I got a little stroke there for a second. What did you?
Yeah, no, it's like, here's all these things that are not normal about me, but also I have no fucking idea what's going on. But I have discovered a few things about what it means to be a person by traveling with this group of friends that I've made. And I guess I'm in a way just trying to find my place in the world, whatever that place may be now.
Continue staring at you. If you are in need of a place to call home, Great Helm is open.
I do like it here. It's one of the first places that I remember feeling comfortable in after I woke up in a snowstorm recently. And I'm sure you know I made the library kind of like a safe place for me to go back to whenever I had nowhere else to turn to. So I do like the city in that regard. And maybe in the future, I would take you up on the offer to call Great Helm my home. But I don't think I'm quite ready for that, because I've not... I think I still have to go to where I actually came from, and I have a pretty good idea now where that is. So once I've seen that place, and maybe I hopefully close that chapter in a good way, then I might be ready to call a new place home.
Is that related to why I hear two voices coming from you?
I squint heavily at her. What do you mean you hear two voices from me?
Voices are a metaphor. They're not literal voices, but I mentioned I can sense people's emotions.
I don't have a great answer for that. But I do, at the very least, feel that there is maybe like a remnant of another consciousness within myself, if that makes sense. I can feel its influence sometimes when I cast certain spells, or when I'm in danger. Then that feeling or voice becomes a little bit louder and more commanding, as if it's guiding my actions. So I think that might be the thing you're feeling. And I'm honestly pretty sure I know who it is as well. But I don't know... How do I put this? I can put a name to it, but I don't really know who it is, if that makes sense.
Will
Does
you
that
get
make
rid of
sense?
it? It does. Will you get rid of it?
That's a good question. I think that if I... If after meeting him, I decide that he's not really in line with what I think I want to become, then yes, I'll definitely look for a way to get rid of it. But for the time being, it's in a way one of the only things that's really anchoring me to this life.
I see. I will not
How are
comment
your
more.
senses so good?
I believe I was born like this.
Me too.
I don't think it was... I don't know when it started, but as a child I could simply feel.
Do you think we're born into this world with special gifts as an accident, or with a greater purpose? What I mean to say is, if, say, you have all these gifts, right? But then say you decided to just work at the library. Oh,
Should just kind of like inject like one gift, arguably.
well, that ability to sense things that others maybe aren't wanting or willing to share, but you still feel it. But say you had that gift and instead you chose to just work at the library and use that gift to maybe hand out the perfect book to a person that comes into the library. Still, of course, an important task, because people need to be connected with books that resonate with them. But you're choosing to do much greater things with it. You're choosing to protect that person that comes into the library. Do you think it's your duty, or my duty, or our duty to make a change if we have the ability to?
Continues looking at you for a few seconds. I have chosen to employ my abilities to this end, but I would not judge those who do not put their abilities to similar purposes. Is that an acceptable answer?
I think that's a fine answer. It's different from what I read in a book once, but I'm also understanding that there's a lot of different ways to look at these things.
What did you read in that book?
Well, the book basically said that it's the duty of the strong to protect the weak.
And whose book was it?
Don't say it.
It was some strange old book that I found in the library. It
Is that true?
spoke yeah, it spoke well, it
No,
spoke about a lot of
it wasn't her asking, it was me asking if that's true.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It
Mr.
was
Windrunning.
no, it was this book that really spoke about a sort of special sun dance of sorts. And it contained the story of a long line of people with the ability to protect the weak. And it was, I suppose, their calling or their task to remain on that path and protect the weak with the abilities that they were given by a higher being.
Perhaps Catherine would have a different opinion on the matter. I don't
Maybe.
know enough of the gods to have an opinion of that.
Do you like the gods?
According to history, they are responsible for freeing our whole region from the yoke of an oppressive ruler. In that regard, I appreciate their existence, but I have never been religious.
Fair enough. Then I point at our target in the distance.
Yeah. I sense that this conversation has reached a standstill.
We can keep it going if you want. I have a lot of thoughts.
I don't want,
That's fair.
but I would not mind if you would like to converse more.
I'll keep talking while we do the mission then, yeah? You just have to listen.
Very well.
So how are we going to do this, though? So I can know when to talk.
My intention was to go to the outpost, find the object, retrieve it. If there are people around it, I will order them to hand it to us. That should be sufficient.
It sounds like a really well thought out plan. Yeah.
Insight check.
Yeah, are you questioning the plan?
I'm not questioning the plan, but I think it's a very simple and straightforward plan. I suppose, due to my experience with my party so far, where every plan has 55 turns and twists, I was probably expecting something a little more elaborate that would fall apart at the end anyway. But this seems pretty refreshing and
Good.
just like simple.
Our
So I
plan
appreciate
took
that.
10 minutes, good sir. And no one was hurt in the making of it.
Right. She simply nods and says, yes, it is the simplest and most efficient way to do it.
What if they don't want to give us the object?
Do you mean if they resist violently?
Well, I wasn't thinking about violence, but now that you mention it,
They would have to resist violently, for I am the highest authority of security in the city. In which case,
Okay.
if they refused a direct order from me, I would be in my right to suppress them with the exact, and she sort of like underlines each word, with the exact amount of force required for such a task.
okay. Well, in that case, I'll be. I'll leave most of it to you then. And if it comes to violence, then I guess I'll have to help you. Although my
Fair enough.
violence is pretty violent, I'll be honest. I've noticed that.
Do not cause any lasting harm to them.
I'll do my best. Although one time I put a Yeti on a spike.
Do not put any of my men on spikes.
I'll do my best.
Just stares at you. there is something in her eyes that says, if your best is not enough, it's gonna be you on a spike.
The immovable force versus the unstoppable object.
Isn't it the other way around?
You can decide who's who.
No, isn't it the immovable object and the unstoppable force? You said unstoppable object and immovable force. Like,
Yeah.
if the force is not movable, what is it gonna do?
They believe
Nah,
in
nah,
such
nah.
illusions.
Unstoppable
both?
force, immovable object. Yeah.
Nah, I'm gonna stick with what I said.
Okay.
Just because now that we've posed the question, it sounds more interesting now.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway, you guys have been walking, and you eventually pass through, just anecdotally, you pass close to the Hearthflame Asylum, and you first get a sort of like a proper look at this very large building. There is like a tall, concrete like gray wall around it, and it's a very, very large building with several wings, like a sort of like a hospital-like building. Solid gray bricks built into it, not much by way of decoration, etc. It has like a macabre vibe to it, even. Any windows that you can sort of like make out, window-like openings, are barred shut, sort of like they're shut, and you can tell that they are very solidly locked, even with wooden planks at times. There's a large fence covering all around it, and a hefty iron gate right at the center, but it's kind of like a deathly still place. But Lucina kind of like makes a turn and leads you towards like this here, which is a gate, like an exit out of the city. As you approach, she explains, there is a stairwell to on the inner section of the wall in the gate itself, which is one of the points that the guards use to climb up to the wall. It is the most practical way for us to reach that spot from here.
Oh, should I look like a guard?
Stops and looks at you, and it would not work on me because I know every guard in the city, but it will probably work on the other guards who are not as familiar with the troops as I am.
I'm not trying to fool you.
That is correct.
Oh, and can I give you one spell just in case?
What do you
Like a
mean,
protective one?
if you wish?
I wish. Do you allow me? And I kind of hold out my left hand, like reach out with it.
Yes.
Boop. And I'll poke her forehead, and she'll feel a wave of cold ice almost sink into her brain as I cast Intellect Fortress on her. Now nothing can break your mind.
Very well.
And snap my fingers, and my form begins to kind of melt a little bit for a moment, and then change color and reshape itself into what a guard of Greathelm would look like. I don't have the exact fit in mind right now, but I'm gonna have just very low-key, not like simple brown hair, unassuming brown eyes, a face that suggests maybe haven't slept too well recently, kind of patchy beard, and then the fit that the guards here would be wearing. And I'm gonna make up that there's a little piece, like a frozen over area somewhere here that I could look into and see myself, and I'll just nod to myself and I'll say, awesome, I look as ugly as them now. Well, let's go.
She stares at you for a moment. Ugly.
The uniform is really not that charming. I'm sorry.
It is practical.
But that can't be the only thing that we care about.
Why wouldn't it? It is attire for a soldier.
I'm a wizard. I think. But have you seen the suit that I wear?
I have.
Well, if you see that suit, you think, wow, what an elegant guy.
That
And
is
then
not
on top of it, what did you think then?
I thought that is Noah Westergaard's outfit.
Okay, maybe not you, but others will think, wow, what an elegant guy.
That is also incorrect.
What did you mean?
Now it's a shot.
Oh my god.
I thought it was just an opinion. Now it's just like, no, it's a shot.
I have no. She's like, I have sensed others have that thought, but it is not all people.
Okay, so long as some people have a sense for what a good outfit looks like, that's fine. My point
But
still
your-
stands.
But your outfit would not be practical for a soldier to wear.
I think it looked good in a suit.
But then they would not be wearing armor.
I can wear armor even despite the suit. Because I'm magic.
The suit would hinder your movements.
It really doesn't.
But
I'll
what
lend
if
you my
one-
suit later and we'll try.
If one cannot use magic, then it would hinder your movements.
We're going to do an outfit swap later, okay?
No.
I squint at her. We will.
If it is necessary to maintain good relationships.
I think so.
Dress up Lucina. Wait. It's really, really necessary for me to see you in this dress. It just is.
And then my voice will go
You might be
deeper
going
and-
to a ball.
Then my voice will go deeper and a little bit louder. All right, Commander. Lead the way.
Yes. She begins going up the stairwell that is out from the gate. And by the way, just to describe the gate itself, this is a much simpler gate than the one that you had previously used to enter and leave the city. It's kind of like wooden, a bit frosted over. It doesn't fully block the wind as the other ones do, and you can see that it leads out to this like small. I hesitate to call it settlement, but like there's a river that runs right by the side of Great Helm, which is where the city gets its water and also like fish and other stuff from. And there's a little like fishing community stationed outside of Great Helm, which kind of like thrives around this sort of trade. So there are a few houses here and there on the road between this gate and the river outside. But you're not headed there, just, commenting on the scenery. You enter through this stairwell, which is right by on the inner side of the wall. And soon enough, you are on top of the wall itself, on the little pathway between the two layers of it. Headed towards another one of what seems to be these wide watchtowers situated in the wall itself, on the wall itself. As you get there, like the door is closed toward you, Lucina gets to the door and immediately produces from her things a keychain. She puts the keychain into the door and tests it. It wasn't even locked, but she just does that out of, for practicality's sake. And then she, without much ceremony, she simply opens the door and enters it and immediately says, good night. And coming in behind her, you see that there were also 3 people stationed on this watchtower as well. This time it's 2 Hyoran women of sort of around, one is in her 30s and the other in her 40s. And one taller and a bit leaner man of Zenitaria's ancestry. He has black scales and these sort of purplish eyes, and is wearing a full suit of armor. And he kind of goes good evening, ma'am. what do we owe the pleasure at this hour of evening? And she looks at all of them, and then at a device much like the other ones. This one seems to be more like the skeleton. It doesn't have the wider cylinder that the other ones had. It's just like the base, and then this tall rod which extends all the way up to the ceiling with several other things jutting out from it, and kind of like a disc, a concave disc at the end of it, which looks even more like an antenna than the other ones. She looks at it and looks at them and says, "I am here to retrieve this object." Oh, the thing? Well, but Lady Commander, are you sure? We're supposed to be watching over it. And she, still staring at him with no real expression. Under whose orders? And he goes, well, the higher-ups. We were asked. It's important. I mean no disrespect, but I don't think we should just get them out of here. They're in a safe spot. She interrupts him and says, "This is a direct order. We are retrieving the device." Is there anything you would like to do in the course of this interaction?
I'm thinking I think more than anything, I just want to see the reactions of the other two to this interaction.
All right.
At
roll
least for
an
now.
insight check.
Inside. Mamma mia, bitch.
9. Can't quite tell much. They have gathered in the same room, and they are sort of on the sides. They're not glued to the guy that is speaking, but both of them are. They seem to be a little uneasy, looking back and forth, not interjecting much. As Lucina says that. Okay. She says to them, this is an order, and he seems to flinch a little bit. It doesn't take a step back exactly, but he definitely shrinks slightly. But you can tell from his posture, he's not quite backing down.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, ma'am, with all due respect, this is a matter of perhaps city-wide import. So, could I mean, and one of the women to his side is she's in her 40s, short, brown hair. She kind of pipes up, takes one step forward, and goes perhaps we should get the mayor on, his opinion. I mean, no disrespect to the lady commander, but you're not the supreme authority on the town. And Kina kind of stares dryly at her. I am commander of the guard. That she kind of swallows dryly, and the other woman, which is slightly younger than her and has blonde, longer hair, goes, "Oh, sure, but what they mean is that we're military people. We don't really know what this thing does, right? So maybe it's dangerous for us to be moving it about, right? So we should get the mayor's
Where
opinion.
exactly is this thing?
It's kind of like if you imagine this as being like a watchtower with a couple of rooms. It's right in the middle of those two rooms, kind of like in the adjoining the area that joins them together, like a corridor of sorts. And you guys and these three are kind of like standing between the both of you and the device.
But it's inside.
Yes, it's inside, indoors.
No, like within vision, I mean.
Oh, in sight, yes. You know, you don't have like a clear shot of it, because there's people in the middle, but you can see it.
Mm-hmm. So am I inside the room or am I like at the door? For example, like could I still look outside from where I am?
You can decide if you headed like into the room with Lucina. She's just past the door, or if you want it to be like sort of like out, not quite into the doorway yet.
I think I'd be like just outside the doorway, still obviously within range of her and with her, but I want to be able to look outside as well. And just to double check, they are currently all facing us, right?
They are.
Okay, I'm gonna wait a little bit longer, but I might have something that I will do.
All right.
For now, I'll wait. I'll let her keep talking and see how it progresses.
Yeah. The girl with the blonde hair like seems to be pleading with a sort of like a security concerns, asking her to maybe get an expert opinion before getting the thing. And Lucina like turns to the three of them and goes, "This is a direct order. If you do not comply, that is insubordination. You will be sanctioned appropriately." They all kind of like stagger for a moment at that, but still don't seem to be backing off exactly. And she eyes, well, you can't see her expression, Lucina's expression, so she's just like sort of like standing there still, like no movement. And there is a pause. None of them really say anything. And Lucina just says very like suddenly to like a little bit louder, like, "Prepare for combat." And things happen quite fast. Like as soon as she says that, she reaches to her back, like where the handle of her large double axe is. And as she is doing that, two of the guards are they seem a little shocked at that and are kind of like, you know, they go into a slightly lower position as if they're gonna start to put like their hands in front of them or reach for something. But one of them seems to instead like their face contorts in a way, and they advance on Lucina instead of like cowering like the other two. It's the younger woman that was kind of like on the left. And you see that Lucina, like, she was reaching for her axe, but she was already kind of like turned towards this other one. And the guard herself, she was leaping kind of like with her head first, like kind of like diving with her head towards Lucina, and Lucina just kind of just puts like her gauntleted fist in front of her and like smacks her head away. I would like you to make an initiative roll.
Okay. Give me some banger music. It's gonna affect everything I do. Oh, wait. I didn't click myself. Oh no, there's no combat encounter. That's why I can't click it.
True. Well, you have a token right there.
Yeah. You
I
just have
mean,
to, like, start.
Yeah, I don't think we need to have like a combat encounter necessarily, but on Foundry, I guess you can't roll,
You can
right?
Just
I mean,
press the
I could
initiative
roll.
You
Just
roll
like
a
type it into the
D20.
chat.
on
Yeah.
Yeah.
on your character
do that.
sheet, right under
Yeah.
your portrait.
Yeah, no, I know, but it doesn't let me click it because there is no active combat.
Just roll
Uh,
D20.
Yeah, I'm just gonna roll.
Okay, so that's 19. You get a +2 bonus from Lucina's deployment tactics.
Okay.
She gives you a little bit of an edge on acting with like a bit of technical positioning. So first of all, is Lucina's turn.
Mhm.
She has just swatted like the woman's face away from herself, and with her left hand, and her right hand is reaching out into her double-bladed axe. She uses her other hand to get it out, and immediately swings at the aggressor, the woman that has attacked her. That is a hit. She will deal. Oh, God damn it! I should have just gotten all of my dice out.
Skill issue.
Yeah, did you think there was a chance we were going to do this non-violently?
I mean,
You have all the
Noah-
answers here.
if Noah help her out,
You.
I told her I would let her talk.
I mean, yeah, she's not a good talker either.
No. That's why I'm more. That's why I'm still making this face, is because you thought Nico as Noah was going to help you out. Okay.
Okay, that's 14 slashing damage.
I stick to
This
what I
is so
say I will
funny.
do.
You did kind of put the two. Well, I don't know if Aluna's that much of a pacifist, honestly.
Yeah, passive.
Noah, as Lucina is attacking this woman first, she delivers like a diagonal slash onto her. You can tell that Lucina is not going for like vital spots. She doesn't like behead this woman like on the spot. She just first goes for an attack that rends part of her armor, and then she spins. And as she is spinning, she calls out to you like, "Noah Westergaard, left side." And then she, indeed, right after she says that, she strikes on the woman's left side, which lodges like the axe on her armor somewhat, and then she pulls the axe, ripping part of the armor and leaving it sort of like exposed, and also throwing the woman kind of like off balance a bit. You can use a reaction to make one attack against her. If you have an attack.
An
to make
attack or an action?
An attack, not an action. You can't just like guess a spell. It can be like a cantrip, but
It can?
yeah, it can be like a cantrip attack. Just can't be like a leveled spell.
Okay, that's actually quite good still. I'm going to target the outwardly aggressive one, and left hand, instead of finger gunning, I'm going to just kind of whip my finger at her, the finger that has the ring on it, and I'm going to Mind Sliver at that one.
All right. That's an intelligence saving throw?
Intelligence saving.
That's a failure.
Okay. So that is going to be...
Wait, vicious mockery. What do you say to make their head hurt?
Hang on. 2d6 points of... Whoa.
Nice.
Psychic damage, and she has to subtract this from her next saving throw. 2. And as she says to your left side, I'll just say, way ahead of you, and whip.
All right. So Lucina finishes sort of like her spin and is still facing like she's kind of ignoring the other two. She's just turned towards this one, and you can tell that she seems to be enduring more than you would expect her to endure. Like those swings from Lucina could easily just knock a guard down. But that is the end of Lucina's turn. It's the start of yours.
Okay.
You have this one woman who has just taken the hits from Lucina and was more aggressive, and the other two seem to be deciding what to do.
Could you describe the scene a little bit in terms of positioning? So, like, let's say I'm here, right? Then Lucina would be kind of straight ahead of me?
Yes, she would be like
The
right
other
in
one
front of you,
is
and
here?
and the three enemies are in front of her. So
Okay.
she's essentially like blocking the entrance. Kind of like any of them would have to get past her to get to you.
Okay.
And vice versa, I guess.
Can I cast a spell over her shoulder without targeting, without like catching her in it?
Yeah. She's
Okay.
not very tall.
Perfect. So I'm just going to take a step forward. I do want... It's a free action to drop my disguise self, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So because I have
Disguise
to look like
self
myself.
also is that concentration?
It's
I don't
not
think
concentration.
No.
Ultra self is.
So I'm just going to take a step forward to stand right behind her and kind of finger gun over her shoulder, and in that same motion, that guard outfit is just going to melt away from me, and I'll stand there in my full glory, my beautiful suit, my hair kind of waving a little bit in the wind, and I'm just going to smirk at these three, and I'm going to cast Noah's Binding Eyes at these three motherfuckers.
Okay.
Oh
What does
god,
that
it's
do
making
again?
me draw a cone. Hang on. Disregard that fuck. What it does is each of them has to make a con saving throw.
Right.
The one that looked extra aggressive has a -2 to that.
All of them fail.
Okay, so all of them are going to take 13 points of damage, and each of them has their speed reduced to 0.
Okay. Both of the ones that hadn't done anything yet, they just immediately get like frosted over and pass out.
Pass out.
Yes.
Bitches.
They're guards. They have 11 hit points.
I know.
They are
Still-
citizens.
Still bitches. And then bonus action.
God, I can't remember who said it, but they were right. Adventurers are assholes.
Yes, they are. I don't have any good bonus actions, I believe. I certainly don't. I'm a wizard. Frickadoodle. The thing that we need to grab is still like what, 20 feet away from me?
Yeah, about that.
Okay. I'm then going to say, I'll hold them here, and you grab the box.
More efficient to take her down. Also unfreeze the other two immediately.
Oh. Snap my fingers. Unfreeze the other two. Leave her frozen.
Okay. She's restrained, you said?
Yep. 0 movement.
But restrained
Is that-
condition.
Correct, yes. Yeah.
I'm asking
actually-
for other reasons.
Hindered. No, it's simply hindered, which only means it has a movement speed of 0.
Okay, so no restrained condition.
Yeah, correct.
Cool. That's because restraint gives disadvantage on attack rolls.
Yeah, so this creature, I mean, it's like, I guess, weirdly worded now that I think about it on the spell, but like the person's really just like contained enough within ice to where they can't move. So I assume it's mostly like ice kind of going up their legs, or maybe me like freezing them a little bit to the wall, whatever it may be, but
Yeah.
just 0 movement.
Can't move. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's the... Unless you have anything else to do.
No, I wish, but I don't have any bonus actions that I can do right now.
Okay, it's the woman's turn then. She is going
The
to
woman.
reach forward. She can't move her feet, but she's going to reach forward with both of her arms, kind of like trying to grab hold of Lucina. Nope. Nope. As she is doing that, Lucina always begins dodging attacks before they actually start to happen. So like before this woman winds up, Lucina's already kind of like stepping to the side, and the woman like hugs the air right where Lucina was before. And then as the woman like twists her body and swipes up, she has already taken like another step back and doesn't seem to have made much effort in dodging it even, and is still like has her eyes trained on the woman. And you can tell that the woman, like, a normal person wouldn't like try to attack a person like unarmed like this. She is moving very weirdly for supposedly like a normal guard.
Mm-hmm.
But that is the end of the woman's turns, which means it's Lucina's turn again. She will then attack the woman twice. The first one is a failure though. She unfortunately like swings down with her axe, and the woman manages to parry with her hands and like push it off to the side. And she spins around it. Oof, rough buddy. She misses both of her attacks, which makes like a kind of like an annoyed face. It goes. It's your go now.
Okay. Take her down. Does that mean fully?
She told you before this not to kill her guards.
Yes.
Come on.
God, you have one, literally one command. Nothing else. This is the only thing.
God, I can't like really knock her out any way other than doing damage. This is so unfortunate.
This is why I sleep.
Yeah, but I don't want sleep.
Shit, now that I think about it, I could have just put those guards to sleep. Set its feet instead.
I thought it the entire time, but I was like, whatever.
Hypnotic patterning. Because sleep would have dulled their senses too.
Yeah, I know. I was legit like, all right. I'll tell you how to play your character. I didn't know if he had sleep prepared. I didn't know if you had to do that.
Storks always have shit prepared. I just forgot.
Yeah, I mean, this bitch is really just like stuck there for a minute.
Yep.
Because she can't move. So I think am I just gonna go up and punch her? Shortly not. Actually. Okay.
Oh no.
I'm going to lift my left hand and I'm going to pretend like I'm going to punch it and I'm going to swing through as if I truly would, and instead this massive frozen hand is instead going to detach from my small hand, and a large clenched fist frozen hand is going to shoot straight at this person in front of me.
I knew you were gonna
And-
do that.
You did not just cast Bigby's hand.
Fuck this.
Isn't that a 5th level spell?
You have
Yeah.
things to do today.
This will come in handy. I'm gonna knock her out.
Oh my
How
god.
how long does that spell last?
An hour at
a
most,
minute.
10 minutes probably.
Yeah, a minute.
1 minute?
23 hits. You intended to do it non-lethally, right?
Of course.
Right, okay. You slam into this woman's head with a massive fist. Like, Baby's hand is large, by the way. It's like this hand is larger than both of you guys. It's the size of the watchtower almost. Just like slams into her entire body, knocks her away from your spell. She splatters against the wall non-lethally.
She
just like-
splatters against the wall, not literally.
Falls down out cold. And immediately Lucina just stashes her weapon away. Rushes over to where the woman is and begins applying first aid to her, but also binding her like arms and legs.
And I just wiggle my hand, my own hand, and then the big hand mimics the motion. And I say, I do see why Lilia likes this. Anyway, Commander, what do we do with her now? She's out cold. The other two are also not moving. Do we just leave them here?
Are you capable of retrieving the object?
Of course. And I'll change my clenched fist into a grasping hand instead. Well, like, technically grasping hand is just for creatures, but I assume it's fine for me to, like, pick up the whole box with this hand, right?
Very well. Give me 1 second. Well, several seconds. And she continues, like, kind of like patching up the woman that you just knocked out with the hand. You know, bandages on the head and the torso, etc. But also, like, she cuffs her, essentially, like on the arms and the legs, and also puts like a sort of like a mouth binding on her. And then she picks the woman up and places it beside the object on your hand. The Bigby's hand, that is. I do not think she has been fully turned into a vampire, but she seems to be exhibiting certain traits. It may be possible to revert the condition, but I do not have the knowledge to do that.
I honestly don't have it either, but if we keep her locked away for long enough, maybe I can figure something out.
It is possible that Catherine would be able to purify her somehow at the temple. Which is why I believe you should bring her together with the object, if your hand can fly there all the way.
How long would that take me?
More than a minute.
Not with the hand, but I can do something else, so don't you worry about it.
Very well. In the meanwhile, after she drops the woman, she immediately goes to the other two, and she doesn't bind them like she did with the other woman, but she starts treating them, sort of like giving them first aid. In the meanwhile, I shall take these to the guard barracks and instruct them to keep them locked for now for insubordination, and we shall deal with them in the morning.
Do you need my help for anything else besides moving these two?
I believe it will be more efficient for you to get those two that person and that object to the temple, while I take these two to the barracks and meet you at the temple at a later point.
Gotcha. Can you just do me a favor and put them on this? And the hand reshapes itself into then instead a floating disc. And in that moment, she will see. I'm so stupid. She will then see behind me this feeling, this energy that she had spoken about. Kind of this cloaked figure in darkness appear behind me and reshape my spell into the floating disc before it disappears almost immediately again. Just put them on there. I obviously cast this outside of that building.
This ninja is
How
gonna
do
be-
you intend on going through the streets unnoticed with those things for several minutes?
Well, I don't think I can. I could quickly teleport her several times and then come back and pick up the box. But that sounds like a lot of work that I don't want to do, honestly. I'll just walk along. Maybe I'll just put a blanket over them so nobody sees them.
She reaches into one of her pockets and produces this small, finely crafted metal object on the shape of a helm that is partially split, like halfway split down the middle. She hands it to you.
What's that?
This is my personal badge. You may walk with the object and the person through the streets, and if any of the guards stops you, you can present this to them.
All right.
cover the.
I require it back once we get back to the temple.
I'll give it back to you then.
Cover it anyway, please.
If you do anything else with it, I will know.
I know you
Lukina-
would.
I'm
But-
pleading with you and Lukina being logical to cover it anyway on the
Of
basis of
course.
panic.
Of course.
Additionally, this may keep you safe from being stopped by the city's guard, but if there are other assailants in the night, it will not do much for you.
I'd be more worried about the other assailants in the night, honestly.
Yes, so be cautious.
No, that's not what I mean. I mean they should be worried about. Well, whatever. I'll meet you
Okay.
back at the temple.
Very well. And she
Good luck without your badge out there. I'm going to produce a robe from my equipment bag, and I'm going to toss that robe over the person and the box.
Okay. You begin making your way with the large device, as well as an unconscious, possibly dying, handcuffed and muzzled person through the cities of Great Helm. Lukina, you can see, like, it doesn't take much longer to follow behind you, and she moves quite quickly, quite swiftly, carrying both people on each of her shoulders. You are stopped on 3 occasions by like patrolling guards that were sort of like lazing around, but as soon as they see you, they go like, "What the actual fuck?" Each time, if you present the Lucina's badge, they begrudgingly let you go.
I don't just present it.
Okay.
I say, "Good evening, boys. Don't worry, I'm here on official business." And I like present the badge.
So you're annoying and you present the badge.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they definitely don't like it much, but they elect to let you go.
I just think to myself, that's what I thought.
But yeah, you do manage to make your way back to the Temple of Hestia, which with no
Okay.
further issues. And with that,
Perfect.
we have concluded all of the pairs. All that is left is Maizel still snooping on the supervisor.
That's such a bad habit of mine.
Both of the guards sort of like they head towards the larger like city gate here, and they meet a guy who seemed to be on the verge of like falling asleep. The conversation they have is kind of like, "Oh man, like we taking care of the thing, and it seemed important. Like what the fuck?" And then, you know, they report to him that they were affected by some sort of magic, or they assume to be magic, and then blindfolded, and then something like made off with the device. Supervisor thinks that is very disturbing news, and it's funny because he goes like, "Oh, it's very dangerous. That object is very, very." Like none of them, like whenever any of them tries to think of why that thing is important in the first place, they seem to draw a blank and then keep like the conversation moves on as if nothing had happened.
Myself just swearing under his breath nonstop.
But the supervisor kind of goes like, "Oh, maybe we should move this up to the lady commander, or I should just ask Father Julius about it. He'll know what to do."
I don't know why it's been expected of these NPCs to do anything but NPC.
But that's sort of like what it seems like he is reluctant to talk to Lucina about it, and he would be more like he'd be more comfortable relying on the father. He thinks the father is a better option here.
Okay. Does it seem like their first instinct was to go to Lucina, and then like something external kind of nudged them in that direction?
Make an insight check.
Okay.
Okay, 27. It feels to you like he is mentioning Lucina more out of obligation or protocol. Doesn't seem like there was like an abrupt stop to his train of thought. Just that he was more like, "Oh, I kind of this would be proper protocol, huh?" And then there is a sense of relief, sort of like when he mentions bringing this up with Father Julius, kind of like, "Oh, but you know what to do, so it's fine."
Got it.
But he doesn't like scurry off to get this to Father Julius like immediately.
Okay.
It seems like he's gonna wait until morning for that.
Yeah, and since Father Julius is in the temple and
Yes.
our destination is the temple,
Yes.
Maizel will take that opportunity to go rejoin the others.
Okay. With that in mind, that's everyone.
Luna sees Noah come back with a fucking thing on a sheet.
Yeah, I think probably like Iluna and Noah would be getting there almost like in very very close, like time wise, because even though Iluna and Myzel's spot was closer, Iluna took a while to be able to scale the wall itself. So that would have sort of like evened things out. So you get there first at about the same time. Iluna carrying the device from her location, and Noah on the floating disc having the device as well as an unconscious person.
What's up?
You don't know. Don't
How'd
do
your mission
that.
go?
Don't look. Well,
Doesn't take much longer for Rala and Lilia to approach, and Lucina would be not very far from them. Like right after they get there, Lucina rejoins your group.
I think we lost Myzel, guys.
he's off snooping. He'll be with us in a moment. Oh, you two didn't bring a body. That's nice.
Miss Lukita, we did have to knock some people out.
Okay, that's about what I expected, to be honest, actually. So,
How many, though?
We did
How
it
many did
really
you knock out?
gently.
So you were seen and knocked them out,
Yeah,
and you left them there.
yeah.
Can you still go get them and bring them here?
I mean, I probably could.
What do you think, Commander? Sorry, wait. Backtrack 1 second. I'm gonna ask this differently. What do you think, Lukey?
She looks at you. She doesn't protest, but she looks at you.
I feel like it should be Lucy, if anything.
There's no S in her name.
A fine point. Kina? Kina sounds cute.
I don't like cute for her.
Well, Lukey sounds a little like you're calling a kid Luke.
No. What I mean is, people are Lukey to survive a fight against her.
Oh my god.
Commander Windrun and Voodoo.
Look what you did. I whispered to Luna.
I
We were getting
totally-
along so well.
I didn't want to call her Lukey.
I did.
I'm not sorry. You brought a body back. Why is there a body here?
It's a vampire.
Stop talking so loudly.
Do you ask me?
I asked you quietly.
Anyway, I see that all of the groups have been successful at retrieving the objects.
Yes. Was there any trouble? Well, aside from all that happened. Any trouble on the way back, Rala? Lilia?
I don't think so.
No.
Gonna make a perception check to see if they're followed.
Yeah, they were not followed. You get like a good view. Start like observing. It doesn't seem like there's anyone following them around.
Okay, well, take that one out from the sheet, and we'll place the last statue in. Where to place that? Wait, it's actually it doesn't weigh that much. I just put the other one into my bag. I maybe Rollo's bag because I think it has less shit in it. I have a lot of shit in my bag.
I mean, do we want to put all the parts together? Do they like, I don't know, combine together with magnets or something?
Giant robot.
Yeah.
Do I get the sense it's okay if they're touching?
Looking at all of them, it does look like all of them are the same, or like they would eventually become the same shape. It's just that they have been assembled like with different parts. Like, they're essentially like missing parts that others of them have. So theoretically, if you disassemble all three of them, you would have all of the parts to make like one complete device, and a few spare parts.
Well, inside the bags are interdimensional space, and they don't share space as far as I'm concerned, so it should be fine. Theoretically. I'm just gonna put it in the bag. Actually, I'll ask Lily to put it in the bag because it's heavy.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Thank you. I missed your muscles. I had to get all big.
I will go
So-
fetch Catherine to take care of this guard.
Yes, please.
Lucina like vanishes into the temple for a moment.
Bless you.
I'm just gonna check on Rala real quick. I heard you're gonna scuffle. You knock some heads, you okay?
Yeah, but one of them was Mr. Kerheim, so I kind of feel
Oh.
bad about that one. I don't
You
know
knock
the
him-
other one, so I don't really care.
She flicks Rala's forehead.
Ah,
You should care a little bit. You don't have to care as much, but care that you hurt someone.
well, they were gonna get Lilia, so I just stopped.
I'm not saying you did a bad job. I'm just saying, always have a conscience about the thing that you're doing.
I said
Try to make it up
sorry,
to them
so-
later. Just try to make it up to them later.
Okay.
I'm just saying. They don't know what's happening right now. So, as far as they're concerned, they were just doing their jobs, and a small girl with a big wrench and a big girl with some strong fists knocked them unconscious.
I mean, we were kind of disguised, so they might not have known it was us.
It doesn't mean you can't try to make it up to them anyway. You don't have to let them know that what you did. Just there was one time I accidentally hurt a friend. She didn't quite know it was me. So for the next week, I gave her some of my dessert from our dinners. She thought I was just being nice. I felt a bit guilty. I probably should have just told her, to be honest with you, but it wasn't exactly my place to do so. The point is, you should try to make things up to people when you hurt them, even if you have to.
I'll buy Mr. Kerheim a sweet.
And then it gives Rala a few gold coins. 10 gold coins.
God dang. She's rich.
I mean, candy probably doesn't even cost a silver, so. Well, you can get them something nice and something for yourself at the same time. Ruffles rolls her. Good job.
At this moment, Lucina reemerges with Sister Catherine. Alright, let's take a look. Oh my god, you beat her up bad.
You're talking about the one on the disc?
Yes.
I'll just say, thank you.
Wasn't a
Should've seen
compliment,
us.
but can be.
You should have seen us in the Wolfwood. That was an image.
By the way, Lilia,
Yeah.
I totally get why you like punching people now.
Rat?
That was pretty fun.
You punched
the
someone.
Wait,
way-
how did you punch him though?
Oh, with my big hand.
Oh, well, that's cheating.
Well, I can't punch her with this hand. And I like limp wrist my left hand.
Oh, you're stronger than that. I've seen the stacks of books you've been lifting now. You can't hide.
Oh, stop it.
While you're talking like that,
Well, you're
Catherine walks
talking
over.
like that.
Catherine walks over to the woman and seems to like touch like a couple of fingers to her neck and another to like some other parts of her skin. It goes like, seems like she's still human for the most part. If that being the case, should just be a little bit of. And then she touches the comically oversized medallion dangling from her neck, which causes like this small like golden colored flame to emanate from it, and then the same color flame shrouds her outstretched hand, and she touches the woman, and the flame begins to wreath the woman's whole body, and there is almost like a little bit of smoke emanating from all her skin, really, and a little bit under it you can see like almost like from her veins, and then the smoke clears and the flames also leave, and the sister releases her medallion and says, I think she should be cleansed for now, but just to be on the safe side, I'll just get her to the infirmary and tell brother something. She says, brother whatever, and to take keep a close eye on her until morning.
Goodness. Is the medallion pure gold?
Oh, no. It's just cast iron, really.
Huh. Okay. I was worried on your behalf. Walking around with something like that is...
No, it's old, but it belonged to my mother, so I didn't replace it.
Has she passed? Sorry for your loss.
She is a little like she looks conflicted a little, and Lucina kind of looks at her and looks to you. Catherine's mother went missing several years ago. It is unknown if she is deceased or not.
Well, I've always made a habit of picking up little things while I'm traveling. If you give me a description, I'll be traveling all across Grimvar after this, so I'll keep an eye out for you.
I mean, well, she looked kind of like me, but you know, taller, a little slightly darker skin, not much my way of freckles, but she kind of like just like an awkward kind of smile. I mean, we can take a solid guess what's been happening to people who go missing in the city. So I don't think you have to look very far, but maybe one day we'll find out what happened to her.
Luna kind of gives a sad smile, sort of rubs her shoulder. Well, I'll do what I can at the very least.
Well, anyway, I'm gonna get this. Oh, you're already on it. Lucina has already started carrying the guard like into the temple.
Yep, that checks.
Well,
Now, where is my Twinkie elf?
Is that when Mizell just manifests back into the scene?
yep.
What convenient timing.
You're alive.
Of course I'm alive.
Do you sound a little disappointed?
It's the relationship, don't mind it. You should see honestly when they first met. This is progress.
I always knew he'd make it.
Mm.
I'm arcane recovering while all of this is happening.
Yeah,
find
you're
it-
fucking better.
You find anything out, Snooper?
Well, the two that we stole this out from under their nose went to the supervisor, who was about to fall asleep at their post, and reported it. And they have no idea that we took it. And they don't know what happened to it other than something large grabbed it and ran off.
Mm.
But their supervisor said, "Oh, we should probably report it. Well, the Lady Commander's next in chain of line, but let's just report it to Father Julius instead." So apparently they have more faith in him than the current chain of command. I think the magical influence at work again. But it's
Well, let's
another
ask.
arrow pointing directly at Father Julius, and he kind of drops his voice as he mentions that part to Lucina.
Looking, it's carrying a body inside the thing. You're talking to me and the priestess.
Mm-hmm. Well, I thought we were walking with her.
Oh, are we? Sure, we can.
That was his intention, was to make sure that Lucina knew that more guards were not reporting things to her, and instead trying to defer to Father
Yeah.
Julius.
Assuming you wait until she's dropped the guy and then came back, she would
Mhm.
kind of like simply remark, that could be the influence of something. But it is also true in general that the people of the town tend to trust more in Father Julius than in me.
Honestly, don't know how you do it.
Do what?
You work so hard for people that a majority give you a hard time. Seems tiresome from this point of view. I mean, you could have did anything. You're strong, talented, good senses. Could have been an adventure.
I have no interest in traveling to other places.
Well, as long as you're doing what you like. Do you like being Lady Commander?
I do. I have worked very hard to reach this position.
Luna smiles at that. And good.
Is there anything else you would wish to report to me?
That's pretty much all that happened. Definitely seems like we need to try and do something about Father Julius, whether it's, I don't know, cure him of the magic or figure out what he knows.
Speaking of, is that something you just want to try now?
I believe the
Well,
father would be
remember what
rested.
happened with Mark? Curing him of that magic made it so that he was he was more aware of the possibility of vampires, but he still retained the desire to go back to the graveyard, so it didn't cure that, which may not have been a magical compulsion. So if Father Julius is in this of his own accord, then if we cure him of the vampirism or the mental shackles, then he may understand that there may be a vampire involved, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he will come around to being on our side if he's knows more about what's going on.
The father would never willingly collude with vampires.
Was that Catherine or Lucina?
Catherine.
Catherine.
Can I? This might be a bit of a weird one, but can I do an insight check to see if she's saying that
There we go.
Out of kind of a duty and devotion, and like faith, or like actual faith in his character?
Okay, make an insight check. She seems to have taken some degree of personal offense from the way that she is speaking to your like implication.
Mm-hmm.
It's which definitely feels like an emotional response and not a fully rational one.
Yeah.
No, Catherine.
And incidentally, like Lucina is like right by her side and she has the cold expression of always, but you can tell she is on purpose not commenting on the subject, but you get the sense that she shares your sort of like point of view of not ruling him out. She's just not mentioning it because she's kind of like, you know.
So on the one hand, we suspect Lucina's father, and that's a touchy subject. And on the other hand, we suspect the leader of the church, who Catherine is loyal to.
The father and the father.
It's true. We've got daddy issues.
They're touchy subjects for different purposes, though. Like Lucina has not put in question like the fact that Marco is like a suspect.
Yeah, it just infuriates her that it's another thing.
She just doesn't seem to like to talk about him in general, but she's not like ruling it out. Whereas Catherine is like actively defending him.
Could
And
you
Lucina
imagine?
is being like almost uncharacteristically tactful, but like not talking about it in front of her too much.
Can you imagine being a bastard child and being like, I just don't want to deal with it, and then someone says like, hey, he might be a murderer, and you're just like, oh my god.
I literally did not want to deal with this.
I specifically asked him not to be a murderer. Like,
it's like the one thing I ask him.
I expect nothing, and I'm still disappointed. But anyway, yeah. Well, last on the conversation, Catherine had said that, you know, no shot he would be willingly doing that.
I think Mizell will kind of respond to that in a, yes, I'd like to think so as well. Just, we need to keep our options open. and figure out what's really going on in town.
No.
Very well. We
Based on our... Try to understand, Catherine. Based on our last experiences dealing with these types of creatures, the things that they could make people do or feel are very unsavory. In ways we do not wish to describe to you.
look. I understand, but the father is a much more experienced man than even I am. It's just a fluke of them that he got caught under whatever the spell is, but if we get him out of there, he's much more capable than even I am. But anyway, you're gonna see that soon. So are you gonna babysit the boy at their house? Turns to Lucina. Kind of shrugs. Seems to be the most efficient way.
Whatever you think is safest.
It depends on your preferences. Would you rather keep him at your residence? Or should I arrange a different location? If necessary, I could bring him to the Grayskull meeting that is scheduled to happen today. I believe Julia would be willing to shelter him.
It might be nice for him to, be in contact with more people who are, no longer under the effect, as his experience with us may be a little less than savory.
Yeah, I think it would be good for him.
How has he been, sister?
Well, he's calmed down a little, but still pretty terrified of whatever's going on in the graveyard and doesn't want to talk about it. It's not like that doesn't like you guys, but he's just thinks that,
Oh, he doesn't like myself, for sure.
I mean, we kind of kidnapped him.
I mean,
Understandably,
okay,
probably does not
okay,
like
he doesn't like some of you guys, but it's the kids are scared,
I mean, understandably so.
and
We
his
don't
friends
take
are
it.
like still there and all, so it's a whole mess. But
I think my cell was a little mean to him, actually.
I was just questioning him and I didn't hurt him. He just wasn't answering. So
so
I
you were
went
mean to him.
looking for answers.
I'm joking myself. I think you should did what had to be done.
I was also
Well,
pouting a little bit.
Anyway, so Lucina, you can take him to the Grayskull meeting, I guess. It's probably gonna be good for him. She just goes like, understood. Would that be all?
You're gonna do the thing
What thing?
as soon as this conversation ends.
What do you mean?
You are very quick. So as soon as we say yes, I expect to see the back of your head before I can blink.
That is not entirely accurate. I do also wish to I do also intend on wishing you good luck before you head to the graveyard.
And Lou looks genuinely shocked. Well,
That being said, do you require anything else of me?
look
Here, you
to-
can have this back. And I'll give her her badge back.
I'm almost inclined to say like it she's already taken it back without you even noticing. Like just like swiped it back. But yeah,
I'm like,
she,
wait, did I?
no, she
I
she
didn't use it.
she
Oh,
takes
okay.
it and it's kind of like, okay, good, he remembered. I didn't have to like, go pry it from his fingers.
I don't forget things.
No, I think we're good to head out.
Very well. I bid you good luck then.
You as well.
And she does just turn and leave.
There it is. It's almost
Lilia
become
kind of
charming
come
to
over
me.
and pat Luna on the shoulder, just as like a little there.
No, it's almost become charming to me, actually.
They say Stockholm syndrome has many forms.
She has a way with words.
By
A
avoiding
one-way
them.
road, but still a way.
No, Lilia, I'm too smart to come up with insults for what you just said to me, so I'm just going to hug you because I love you very much.
Bro, one of my dice fell and I can't find it.
Oh no.
It's gonna bug me. Oh, I found it. 1 second.
Never to be seen again.
Since we're getting ready to go to the graveyard, I do think Galuna will sort of kneel down to Rala real quick. Rala, dear? Noises.
Bro said, mm.
Will be...
Dwarf. friends.
Just Minecraft activation noise.
We'll be heading to the graveyard soon. Are you going to be okay?
Yeah.
Even if we see ghosts?
Yeah.
Was that more confident or less confident?
We'll say 60-40.
Hmm. Well, you've definitely gotten a lot more experience in fighting since the last time. I just want you to remember. Luna kind of looks off to the side for a moment. I might be saying this more for you than... Sorry, more for me than for you. But I told you I was an orphan when I grew up. And I didn't get told this enough when I was being raised. And she sort of like cups her cheek and sort of rubs it. You're doing a great job. I'm very proud of you. Okay?
She'll kind of look down and just say, thanks.
Just keep doing your best. And I'll never be disappointed. None of us will.
She's just gonna sort of still be there, just keeping her head sort of down, not saying anything.
If you need anything, let me know. And she'll get up and sort of clap her hands together. Alright. Who wants to go grave digging? Not really. And she looks at Sister Catherine.
No, I know, I'm aware.
I know, I just didn't want to. I know we look the type to be grave robbers.
We wouldn't
Didn't
do
think-
that without your permission.
Good.
Don't know that I would even with permission.
Pretty sure you already have without permission.
What? He just looks so offended.
That being cut off was so funny. I was like, what?
Wasn't the first thing you found a grave in which you took some stuff? the first roll we had in Wolfwood. If I'm remembering very correctly. You
I
just
don't
took
think
some.
Myzel took stuff from it.
Oh, whatever, complicit ass.
Bro, you dragged Selena's whole coffin from her room.
That one
That's
doesn't
true. I
count.
want to take a nap in that tonight.
Like,
It was
you
a
didn't-
druid guy thing. It
You
was a
didn't
druid
even-
guy stash.
You didn't even dig up the grave. You just took the entire grave.
Yeah, it was efficient.
Anyway,
You're not gonna just give us a cool grave and we leave it. That's like, that'd be so cringe if
We're
we
like,
did
hey,
that.
look at this item that does cool things, and you expect us not to take it?
I'm not criticizing you for it. I'm just saying, don't talk shit about grave digging after doing that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm saying we look the type. I'm just saying, I know you. If we were just like, oh yeah, that coffin, and then we just all went home, you would have been like, I can't believe they left that coffin.
I can't believe we left that coffin.
Anyway, Catherine is gonna be like, well, disturbing remarks about grave digging aside, let's get the show on the road then.
Of course.
So are we going like over the wall or like around? You guys seem awfully fond of like jumping through the things.
Are we gonna keep doing that this session?
To be on, no, can we just decide how we're getting there? I don't want to jump over the wall again.
Well, there's someone guarding the front entrance, so we either jump over the wall or we enter conspicuously.
I mean, I could climb everyone over the wall like one at a time.
True.
It would just take a while, but I mean, I could do it for sure.
That's not very inconspicuous. Like it's just a tall, muscular lady just leaping half a dozen times back and forth between the wall.
It would
You
just be more inconspicuous walking to the front and knocking the guard out. I mean, and she looks to Noah, Rala, and Lilia. It seemed to work out plenty fine.
Yeah, all right.
And we can't exactly jump over the wall. It does have the eye, after all. Which may or may not see us either way.
What moon's out?
It's Shandora. If I'm correct, now is
It is still Shindora, yes.
yeah, it's a Thursday, so it's a full moon.
Yeah.
Should have been a saving throw. That still passes regardless.
You already passed your saving throw, I believe. I think you made it like last session.
Next, I thought this was a new.
No, we did the furnace today. We didn't sleep.
Yes, it's still same day as the furnace.
It's a long day.
We've done a lot.
We did do a lot.
Yeah, I think I got confused and thought it was a new night. Whoops.
So, are we jumping over the wall for some reason, or are we just gonna walk
No,
out? And
we're
exit and-
walking.
Okay, so is the whole group in consensus of walking?
Yep.
All right.
I've
then
used both my recharges here, so I'm a little better.
Okay, so just to expedite things, you guys cross through the city to the nearest gate, and you take that same route that Myzel and Noah had initially taken, like walking around the outer edges of the wall. It's very cold out here, especially at night, but most of you, I believe, are well equipped to deal with that. Catherine isn't quite like as naturally resistant, but she has like a pretty thick, if not very expensive looking fur coat that she's sort of just silently shivering inside.
Luna will intermittently place like her very warm hand on her neck.
That's pretty nice.
Thank you.
But yes, and just to wrap up the session, because we are at our time, you begin to approach the graveyard. Can I just give us the little graveyard visual again, which was very sparsely used. But you approach the outer walls of the graveyard, and as you do, you notice that even before you can see properly the entrance to the graveyard, which like the gate seems to be like swung open, there is a soft musical. I was gonna say musical sound, but I'm not sure if that is redundant or not. I guess it's not necessarily redundant. The sound isn't necessarily musical.
I mean, it depends. Is it rock and roll? That's usually not soft.
True. It is rock and roll. It's just like in the distance, so it's not like blaring yet. But you can hear the rock and roll. There's also some eerie, like red lighting coming from the graveyard, giving it a little bit of a more atmospheric, creepy vibe. And would any of you be using any kind of other like you're not like right in front of the graveyard yet. You're a ways off.
I'll cast See Invisibility.
Okay. In which case you do see, as you approach, a little bit of a ways off, a floating eye, just hovering in midair, like maybe 30, 40 feet off from the ground. It's hard to tell at this distance if it's in your direction or not, but there is like a floating eyeball, and on the backdrop there's familiar scene of the graveyard, but now at night and now far more active. And that's where we're going to end the session.
End the session.
GG.
I thought we'd get here like 4 sessions ago.
Me too.
Yeah, well,
Things kept
How
happening.
many sessions has it been in the same night? Like 3?
This has been a long day.
Yeah,
It's
the
been a
furnace
long
wasn't
day.
really like the night, so it was just like at night itself. It was just like the mayor visit and then like the walls.
we fixed breakfast the morning after the kidnapping 4 sessions ago. So this was session 47. We woke up that morning of session 44. So we've spent we've spent at least 5 sessions on the same day.
It's been a long quarantine.
It's been a long
Ayo.
quarantine for sure.
Not the quarantine.
The quarantussy.
Worse.
Okay.
All right, well, GG, fellas.
Yeah.
I'm about to pass
I'm
out.
gonna go to sleep as well, but thank you for
So
coming.
sleep
It
time.
was a nice
GG,
session.
gang.
Nice session.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we made it.
Expected
clear-
amount of yapping and shenanigans.
It was a very D&D session of like 3 plans, 3 successes.
Successes?
Varying degrees of mayhem.
Yeah. Kind of went exactly how I thought it would.
Yep.
Mayhem, award-winning album by Lady Gaga.
Anyway, I'll let you guys go.
Yeah.
Farewell,
Good
gang.
night, y'all. Bye bye.
Sleepy gamers out.
Ooh.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace, peace.